And I have no
Live.
cool intro video like Valerie. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I gotta mute my. Yeah, okay, it's muted. Good. Pro streamer. Hey, boys and whales, what's up? Gary Hubs, Jen Sis, good to see you. Hopefully, we'll get some more people in here. Or already do, and I don't know because
Or
I
it's
don't look at the other stream.
it's probably the people who hate people club.
The people who hate people club or eight people club. I
People
did.
who hate people club.
Oh, hate. Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
Come on, let's have a meeting. Fuck you. Oh man, we almost had a meeting going on.
I thought we were, yeah, I thought we were talking about. So we're gonna talk about start the conversation anyway about introverts and extroverts and like how it affects your mental health, I guess. So I guess I'm kind of both. Just depends on the situation. I mean, obviously I run a stream, so I have to be somewhat extroverted, right? I don't think I would do this without having some kind of, extroversion. But I do like my alone time. Let's say that.
Yeah, I'm an introvert, definitely. Not really a big fan of people. A lot of people in large groups, uh, customers, that kind of thing.
Customers. Yet you work retail.
Well, yeah, but I generally work in the back. I'm more of a prep cook than I am, and I've tried to make that clear. Like, yeah, just putting me up with people like that makes me kind of skittery, and you start having to deal with the panic attacks and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
You
it's a
keep me in the back
drag.
where I'm with like my coworkers whom I'm familiar with and I know how to communicate with them. No problem. I can, my social battery's able to withstand that. But
Well, I found a decent article on this from a website called positivepsychology.com, and I read through this, and it's actually pretty interesting. There's actually a history behind the concept, and I didn't know this. It's Jungian, which I dig Jung. I kind of like him, like his collective unconsciousness and consciousness ideas. So and Hans Eisen, God, I cannot pronounce this name. Eysenck. Anyone? That guy in the 80s built on Jung's ideas and integrated them into this psychological model of personality. So what he came up with is three tendencies. One, psychoticism, the propensity to be impulsive, aggressive, tough-minded, and non-conforming. Extroversion versus introversion, tending towards sociable, energetic, and outgoing rather than quiet, reserved, and reflective. And neuroticism, emotional stability, inclining toward moodiness, anxiety, and worry over calmness and resilience. So, like I said, some of those things I might lean toward neuroticism. Maybe. I don't know. you
So,
know.
what was the three categories again, Justine?
Psychoticism, which is the
Yeah,
P of the
yeah.
pen. Extroversion, introversion, and neuroticism, emotional stability.
Okay. So I'm wondering if they would be kind of like roughly equivalent to psychopathy, extrovert, and introvert then.
Yeah, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it is. I think it's a play on it, a new play.
yeah.
Yeah, like this is new stuff. It's like 2021 and
Oh,
to me,
2017 and
to
2021. So it's
me,
they're the
new.
this
new terms.
this
Yeah,
kind of this is kind of interesting because
which was cool.
I'm an introvert because generally people make me psychotic. So,
I feel
I
that.
I don't want to leave. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to drive. I don't want to deal with anybody
I
because I know
feel
when I
this.
do, the invasive
I
thoughts are
could
going to
be,
start to creep in, and
I
you
feel
know,
this.
yeah.
Pookie.
I'm being
Yeah, no.
antisocial, but it's for the public good and public safety, right?
And for my own self-preservation, I just don't want to deal with this shit. I ain't got the
I
energy
look
for
terrible in orange. Just put me at the back on my own.
No, yeah, no black and white stripes for me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
I heard ya. Yeah, so
Do
yeah,
not
this is
mix well with people. Become stabby.
I like that. Yeah, I've been there. I only
People just-
feel stabby. I don't act on it,
What it
obviously,
comes down
because
to is,
don't look
what
good
it
in
comes
stripes
down
or
to
orange.
is, people wonder why they end up with a shotgun buried in their nostrils, and it's because if you would just fucking drive, I wouldn't have to shoot your ass. No.
There
kidding.
are some
kidding.
awesome
I am
YouTube videos about road rage, right? Kind of, leading into that, and a lot of what I like, there's this one channel that does this thing called instant karma. And so they'll show somebody road raging at someone or being an ass. And then here comes the wee woo, like immediately. It's so awesome. Anyway, I digress.
Instant karma.
Oh, it's so funny. It's my favorite thing. So they go on to define introversion, which is also kind of interesting. This is a new definition, 2021. I mean, 5 years old. Internal
intrigued.
thought. Yeah, internal thought. This is a really good article. Internal thoughts and personal exploration typically energize introverts. They're more sensitive to processing stimuli and prefer stability and listening over social interactions. Research also suggests they typically require greater separation between their work and their home life. So maybe working from home would not be such a great thing for,
He's
an
like, they're reading my
introvert.
rap sheet.
Unfortunately, I can't make burritos from home.
Right, yeah. But that's
True.
fortunate. That's kind of fortunate for you, because I don't think what that to me says is you wouldn't want to work from home, because you need a separate place,
No,
right?
I do need that. That is true, because like I couldn't imagine having to fucking set all this up for a fucking kitchen and shit. That's nuts. And but also like I like to get away from the screens and like I like to get up and exercise. I mean, you wouldn't know
What
that
is
looking
this?
at me, but I do enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
And
put
I-
the link to this
and I
article in the private
do
chat.
to some degree do like having some social interaction. It's just generally with my coworkers, because at least with my coworkers we can also make a bunch of dick jokes and stuff like that, and that's cool. Apparently.
Okay, then. No,
we joke about everything that we joke about in chats and shit happens in my job too.
there's a certain, to a certain extent, there's different reasons why I'm working from home right now, because our office is just awful, and we're getting that's not the link. Anyway, I'll try again later. But we're getting a new building, right? So I'm working from home, and I miss the interaction with some of my colleagues, but I don't miss the interaction with most. And when I do go back, I've asked that my seat not be assigned so that people cannot find me. Because they will seek
Nice.
me out and come and try to argue with me. And it's
Hi, Hugh.
awful. Like, hey,
Hi,
Hugh.
Boomer. Hi,
It
Sparky.
gets hey, Sparky. It gets nasty. Hey, Boomer.
Hey, Hubs.
I've had people run up to
Hi,
me and
everybody.
argue with me over a penny.
They
So
did what, over a penny?
Valerie.
a penny.
Valerie.
Valerie. What's it?
Oh, Valerie.
It's talking about you freezing, because you do you're kind of freezing a lot. We're hearing
Am
you.
I? You know
But
what?
your-
It's my
your
stupid
camera-
Hey,
internet.
J-Bird. And Michael Songs.
Hey, everybody. They were upgraded my internet, and it didn't upgrade anything. It sucks just as bad as before. Even worse,
upgrade.
actually. I think they didn't, turn a screw or something.
Oh.
I have no idea. It's been the worst. I tried to go into Jade's earlier and it just kept doing this. And I know it
Oh,
wasn't Jade. It's me. You know?
I
I'm
was
like,
having that issue the other day. It was just it wouldn't let me in.
I
I'm
had to
like,
go out
okay.
and come back in and it was better. So if I disappear, I'm sorry. I'll be back. It's just my,
Well, it's not down to you, is it? Screw the
it is
internet.
Oh, it'll be
You're
so
not
fine.
like living
stupid.
out in the middle of the sticks or anything, are you?
No, I'm in the middle of
No.
the city. I am
Well,
10 minutes from downtown Detroit. I could practically, I
She's
can
in the
see it from
neighborhood.
my backyard.
She has neighbors. I mean, it's like,
I have
it's
neighbors
yeah,
right
yeah.
next to me. I'm in a big city, Grosse
many
Pointe Woods.
vibes.
So if anybody's ever heard of the movie Grosse Pointe Blank, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I'm at.
Is that
That's
the
where I'm
one with
at.
the dead president masks?
Is it? God, I
I don't
don't
know.
remember.
I
It's
can't
been like
remember.
years since I've seen that.
Yeah, it's for a long
That
time.
might have been the bank
Hello,
robbery
Louis.
movie. That was really good, actually.
Mm.
Hey, Many Vibes, what's up? Hey, Louie. Um,
Louie,
s-
Louie,
so anyway,
Louie,
I was
Louie.
trying to
Dun,
put
dun,
the
dun,
link
dun.
to that article again, and it
Isn't
was
it the
not
one? I
working.
think I found it just then, so I meant to say. I think
Oh,
I found it
cool.
and put it in
Good,
private chat.
good, good, good.
I googled the
So it
title that
was
you dropped.
awesome. So very smart. So, yeah, that was their definition of introversion. I think it's pretty accurate,
Yeah.
stability over and listening over social interactions, kind of, I think of a lot of times at parties, I'm a wallflower. If I don't know anybody, I don't,
Oh yeah.
I don't feel super comfortable at a party.
I'll have to like separate myself from the group every once in a while. If like your barbecue, like it
Yeah.
was like fun, but
Mm.
like there was a point where I just had to go in and just like woosah away from
Yeah.
everything else,
Like
just because like
decompress kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah, there were a lot of different people, I had neighbors and family and in-law, I had everybody there. It was crazy. I couldn't even keep track of it. But so yeah, I mean it's understandable. So I mean I have those tendencies too. It just depends on the
Mm.
situation.
Hmm.
Um
I think
li-
like a lot of people, I think, are probably a mixture of both and come down, have a propensity for one side, but like say, depend on context. But then there are some people who just
that's
seem
Sparky.
shy or like extroverted, regardless of context or situation.
right, right. And what this article says is that it's a spectrum, right?
Mm.
And I think that's very true. That a lot of us are a balance of both. We can be introverts, like need our alone time, but there are times when we can adjust to social situations. And they have tendencies here of introverts and four types of introverts, which is interesting. Also, you've got
Oh,
social introverts who prefer smaller groups rather than large social gatherings. That's kind of
hmm.
me. I like that. I'd rather be
Mm.
in a smaller group than a big old. So I don't like parties, like big parties. My
Yeah.
girlfriend dragged me to one. She dragged me to this thing called our friend Mike puts this on. I haven't been in years because it's just I'm not a drinker, okay, at all. And this is a drinking party, and I just it's rough. So I go and I know a lot of the people there, so that was fine, and I got to talk to some really cool people. So that was good, but it was just like, oh God, and it was like the anxiety beforehand thinking about it.
Mm.
Like, am I
Mm.
gonna know anybody here anymore? I haven't been in like 15 years. Again, I don't drink, and but I need to go out and do this social interaction stuff finally.
Would you find that like smoking or anything would help before you go? Because some people would find it helps, but other people would think, nope, not doing that.
I
Doesn't
did.
really.
In fact, I smoked before I went and I took my vape. I did both. I was just
Yeah.
like, just in case I have
Yeah,
the portable.
hit,
So,
hitting the weed didn't exactly curb my anxiety the other day when I was scheduled to work on the front lines and having to deal with customers because I came in. I was literally telling my boss, I'm like, look at my leg. I'm shaking. Like, do you understand? Like, how I little like I can
Hi,
tolerate
Michael.
large crowds of
Michael.
people. Like,
Yeah.
and I've done stand up before. That's crazy too. Like,
That's
you
got to
think
be
like
crazy. Yeah. To
someone
be.
who's so fucking paralyzed by like social, situations can go up on stage and clown around for, 5 some minutes. Like,
Do
That's good,
you,
though.
yeah, do you get stage fright and or is it just like is that the one thing that you don't feel anxious about?
it's weird because I think like with music, like I've tried playing guitar on stage too while telling jokes, and generally I
Mm,
just kind of fuck around with the loop pedal or whatever. It's kind
mm,
of a little bit performative wise. Like you couldn't ask me to play something like actual. I lose. I would just lose all track of it. Honestly, telling jokes is a lot easier for
mm,
me. It's just kind of one of those things where I can just come up with something off the cuff and
right. But it
perform
doesn't
that in
cause
front of
you
people.
anxiety like doing stand up or
That's the weird thing. Like I said, performing music, I wouldn't be able to do it, but doing stand up
yeah,
is like it's just different. It's just
cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's more like I said, it's more off the cuff. It doesn't have to be rehearsed. You
right.
know,
It's like more improv. Like
yeah,
you didn't have to prepare for it.
I can react a lot, a
Okay.
lot quicker, with jokes and stuff. Now, if I tried playing a song, someone would be like, "You're playing it wrong," da, 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 da," and I'd be like,
Yeah,
"Fucking,"
yeah.
like there was just no way I could do that.
Tom,
Oh,
Hey
hey,
now,
Hey,
what's going
don't
on, y'all?
fuff.
not much. How are you? Well,
I
we're
can't
talking
complain.
about introverts and extroverts
I
today.
know. That's why I was like, I have to come. I just had this whole
Valerie.
conversation this week.
Oh,
So
cool. Okay. Awesome.
Hey.
all right.
Yeah. So, and we were talking about this in Valerie's, I think it was Friday, where we were talking about stage fright, right? And I was pushed up on stage with a violin at 9 years old in fifth grade, right? In front of a bunch of people and big audience of people. And it was very nerve wracking, but it was a good training.
right,
I'm cool with it, because as a little kid, anything will cause you trauma, literally. And yes, it was a trauma, but it did my brain okay, right? Because I learned being nervous is okay. It's okay to be nervous.
You have to be in
I,
those situations to be able to learn coping mechanisms or whatever, I suppose.
yeah. My coping
Little,
mechanism is like use the energy, you
shock,
know.
yeah.
little shock exposure, like jumping into
I
cold water, and
Yeah, just do it.
I was
I think that's perfect analogy.
I was talking to my kid early this week because he said something about being introverted, and the way he was saying it to me, I was like, "No, you're being explained what you are by an extrovert." I was like, "Let me clear the scene for you." I'm like,
Right.
introverted people are not shy from talking with other people. Introverted people have the ability to be alone. They are comfortable with themselves and therefore don't require
or
as many people.
prefer
And I said, and that really freaks extroverted people out. They don't know
Right,
how to
I think
handle
you're right.
that. So they
Right.
make you feel like you're a loner, like you're not a loner. You're just
Yeah.
good with
yeah.
yourself.
Why don't you
Yeah.
talk more? Why don't you smile more often?
Oh, I get that as a girl. Okay, so I used to
Oh,
get
yeah.
when I worked in Detroit.
Oh, look,
I I would kind of
yeah, right.
on purpose, walk down the street and I had a serious look on my face. And one
Right.
time I had a man say to me, "Why don't you smile?" And I was like, like, why don't you go to hell?
Or you get like
What the hell is that?
it's like
Because I'm
you
a
should
girl, I
smile
should
more often. You hit 'em
walk
with
down the
most,
street all happy. Like,
Yeah,
I mean
No.
that's not your insecurity. That's his insecurity. The fact that you're not smiling has some reflection on him. Like, I don't even notice you till you spoke, dude.
It's one of those, it's one of those
Stupid.
things where
I'm
they
like,
say,
okay.
they say, why don't you
kinda
smile more?
weird.
And then you hit them with the most Sizzlack, and you're just like, and they're like, oh God, never mind.
And then you pull out an 8-inch butcher knife and stab him.
That's kind of where I'm at, Tom. Anyway,
Now I'm
but,
smiling.
well, you want to walk down the streets of downtown Detroit. You don't want to look too friendly. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm not sorry. You don't. Where I was walking into had a lot of bums, and I wasn't friendly. I don't want to talk to you.
No, if you grow up in a
I'm
city,
sorry.
if you grow up in an urban city, you eyes straight or down, and do not see what's around you. Yeah.
You're not like,
kind of
hi,
look.
everyone.
You look with your ears. You really look
Well,
around with your
yeah.
ears. You're like listening to everybody around.
Yeah, like if you're trying to get from point A to point B and you go smiling at every idiot out there, you're gonna lose a lot of time. You're like, I got some place to be. Some people see your smile and they think it's an invitation to spend all day with you.
Kind of wonder if that's why extroverts are usually late. They're off jaw, or was it what do you call it? Jaw jacking. Just talking to people.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
get tough,
just
love.
move. I got shit to do, man.
Seriously. Yeah, no. But, and so, and there's different types of, like, I was going through these different types of introverts, right? So I went through the social introvert. We prefer small groups rather than large gatherings, and that's me.
That's me. Yeah.
I don't like large gatherings.
The
that
more
much. I feel
people, the
weird.
less I speak.
And there was another thing I used to have to do where it was like kind of way moving out of my comfort zone, right? Which was managing my ex's band for a while and having to get out there and talk to people I totally don't know and negotiate things and then having to deal with like the other bands and stuff, and it was crazy. It was it was hard for me. It was weird because
Don't you find
Don't
like
ask me to
a lot
manage
of
now.
Don't you find a lot of that is like I am not a small talker. Like I don't want to tell you how my day was. Like I don't want to have like a brief conversation. I want to have an in-depth conversation. So I find it difficult to, just chit chat with people.
Yeah.
Right.
How's the weather doing there? Like it's weather. It's doing
Yeah.
whatever
It's-
weather does.
and see, that depends on who I'm talking to. It really does. I don't know. Like if I know it's a conversation starter, it's going to lead into something else because
Right.
I know the person. It's one thing.
That's what
But-
exactly. Yeah.
But,
Small
like-
talk tends to like die in the air for me. Like, just like I will give you the crappiest answers to like to stupid questions like how are you doing today? I mean,
Oh no, I'm going to small talk
I'm
you now.
alive. I'm alive. I mean, I exist presently.
How's
I
your
guess.
day? How's the weather? E?
Same
But,
as
yeah.
yours.
So yeah,
Like,
I mean, it depends on if I know you. But this is what annoys. This is what I was going to say. What really annoys me to that point is when I'm at work and on the Teams message, I get a hi, and that's all. And I
Hi.
go, I think, what do you
Hi.
want right now?
hi.
Teeth
Lucky
gritted and
Like a little kid. Hi.
It's
What
it's
the-
it's
what?
slightly off topic, but no, it drives me crazy at work when someone sends out like an email, a mass email, right? Your timesheets are due on Friday, right? And 200 people reply all and say okay. I'm like, come on, people.
and you have to reply all
Don't
and say,
reply all.
stop replying all.
Oh,
you
it drives me
morons.
just like.
Phone just go. Boop, 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 boop. Like,
Yeah,
Hey,
and it just
Mary,
comes
Mary,
ding, ding, ding,
what's
ding.
up?
Oh, drives me insane.
Oh, it is that is very
I'm
irritating.
here.
Maria, And what we have too at work is that we have these meetings, these teams meetings, because a lot of us are working from home, right? Or we're in different states and stuff. So you get on there and then they have a group chat for that meeting.
Right.
And after the meeting, it keeps going bling, bling, bling. And you're like, shut up! Why are you still talking? It's over! Go home! You don't gotta go home. But you can't stay here.
I once had a Teams meeting, and there were 5 of us, and we were all in the same goddamn building. I was like, I can literally hear you. Like, I can hear you 3 doors down. Can't we just go to the conference room? Like,
I've done that too, Dom. I've literally said, why don't I just come upstairs? Oh, the funniest thing along those lines, when I was still in the office, we had this new credit officer. His name's Matt. And I just the first time I ever met him, and I knew the RM. I had actually known the RM for like 20 years from another bank, right? And I go up to meet them, and I'm sitting in the conference room, and Matt, now I know Matt, but Matt comes along and he goes, "Excuse me, miss, but there's a meeting in here." And I said, "Yeah, I know, I'm your closer." And he went, "Oh my God." I'm like, "What do you mean? What did you think? What?" I'm like, do I have something on my face, on my head? What happened? I guess he didn't expect me or something. I guess he was thinking I was a guy. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. People do mistake my name. They call me Justin. I don't know why.
I don't, because Justine is really unusual. Is Justine unusual in the States, or?
It is, actually.
I mean, there are so many unusual names in this, that every name should just be kind of...
That's because people have a difficulty with reading and interpretation, and it's like their brain checks out after the end, so it's
they're...
And they don't want to process that extra thing.
No, what it is, it's like on a game show when someone answers before the question's complete, and they're always like, "You have to wait till." That's what they think they extracted as much information, and they just shut you off and blurt. They might
jump the gun.
Yeah. That's what they do. They do before they get to the E, Dom. Before they get to the
I hate when people ask questions and then don't give you any time to answer before they hit you with another question.
Yeah, it's because they're not asking you a question. Yeah,
that's like
answer.
It's like bad cop, bad cop interrogation.
Where were you? What did you do to them?
Dom's got my favorite beer. Okay, so the next type of introvert is thinking introverts. And they're content to spend much of their time deep in thought, enjoying introspection and contemplation. I don't know if I enjoy that.
Yeah, no, I don't enjoy it.
Depends on what you're thinking about.
It's a curse. But I that is how I spend most of my free time.
Introspection.
Just reanalyzing everything I do. Yeah, it's.
I can be in my head sometimes like that. Yeah. I can do that. Absolutely.
I mean, it helps when it's good when it helps, but most times it don't help. It's just idling wheels.
Sometimes even like the busiest situations, I have to just stop and just contemplate everything that's going on around me.
Jimmy. Yeah.
Like I have to like tick boxes and stuff like that. Take note of things that I've done, things that I've got to do yet, stuff like that.
Well, my thing is sometimes emotionally, if something's hitting me quick, I can't like analyze that emotion right away. But that has to do with more emotional intelligence than being an introvert or extrovert, I think.
It's like putting those emotions on a shelf for a minute. Because you're like, not now.
Yeah, like, well, I'll figure this. I'll just freak out right now and figure this out later. I think it's more my philosophy. more than put it. I wish I could like actually put it on a shelf. I'm working on
It
that.
sounds kind of
Well,
like,
the
it's
only
like
time it. I'm sorry. Lemmy.
What was that, Lemmy?
no, so I was just going to ask, is that like a shock thing, do you think, where it's a delayed processing?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's
Like
part
being
of my,
overwhelmed and then just thinking, like, I'll have to let it wash over me and sort of
I mean,
see
you
what there is in the backwash.
exactly.
make
I'll
the
analyze that
argument-
later.
couldn't you make the argument that you're detecting that you need to process something and you don't want to just blurt out an answer? You actually want to consider it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's it. And my
I think-
tendency
You have to
would be to
consider all
blurt something out,
possibilities.
right?
I think the worst problem of that is that, again, sometimes people have an expectation. If you can't just spit out like you're unsure, I'm like that. No,
Right.
I'm not unsure. But this is my, this is the way I process. I sit with it for a minute and then I make an informed decision.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I noticed that in recent past months, when I was like dealing with grief, right? I had some friends, in real life friends, that couldn't would shoot things at me, and I had problems processing it. And it was dumb petty crap that they would get mad at me over because I was still like in my head a lot, right? And I knew what I was going through. They didn't realize it because, a lot of people are like, well, you should be over it by now. You don't get over something like that. Let me tell you.
No.
No.
Okay.
The amount
You
of
never
people
do.
I've had
No, it
say
just
to me,
becomes
like,
part.
Yeah.
people have said,
Right.
oh, aren't you over this death by now? And I'm like, like it was not that it really matters, but like sometimes it's like a close relative, like a parent. And I'm like, what, after a year?
Right.
And the thing is, like, I've known other people that lost their parents like 10, 20 years ago, and they say, well, you never get over it. It just sounds like there's impatience, like people can't be bothered to read 7 letters of Justine. And then, and also, yeah, like,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. It's just, yeah, so I had to, in that processing, I had to tell that friend, I'm not going out with you for a couple of months. I got to process like what's going on here and figure this out. Like, and I did, and I'm fine. And I figured out it was the people that person was hanging out with I couldn't deal with. Right? It wasn't my friend directly, it was her friends that I couldn't stand. And the fun fact is, interjectingly, she told me this weekend I was hanging out with her, and she told me that the bougie friend we were hanging out with that pissed me off, that caused the problem, pissed her off. And I'm like, aha, let me tell you something. So that was kind of satisfying, but anyway. I don't know if that, again, has anything to do with being an introvert or an extrovert, but more of like maybe an emotional intelligence or...
Yeah, like boundary setting or something, which is
Yeah.
like a form of emotional intelligence in the sense, I suppose.
I feel
Yeah,
like a lot of
right.
us. I feel like a lot of us kind of almost feel pressure to be very like impulsive. Almost like there's a lot of things where like you go to buy a car, for example, and the salesperson's pushy. He wants you to have an answer right now. As an introvert person, it's like, no, I came here to ask a couple questions, and so that way I could go do my own independent research. I'm going to do all kinds of checks on this thing, and then I'll get back to you on that. I'm not
Can't
going
even
to...
think about it for a bit, as it's a big purchase.
Yes, it's a very important thing that you're going to, but it's like also, or like, your job calls you and says, can you come in? And it's like, you're going to have to give me a minute to get back to you on that, because now I have to figure shit out. I had to figure out transportation and
Yeah.
stuff.
Absolutely.
So, it's like, but if you don't give people an answer right away, they get angry, and that's kind of why I really don't like having a cell phone, or at least having my ringer on, because look, if someone calls me, or they even sometimes they message me, like sometimes I might not even get back to them. And that's just how I am. It's nothing to do with them. It's like, Limey, I know you've emailed me sometimes. Sometimes I miss comments and things like that. It's so hard to keep up with a lot of this stuff.
I have to do it for work.
Absolutely.
I don't even know where my phone is. Like I come home from work and I throw it someplace, and the only time I look for it if I know if my kid's going out somewhere, and then I keep it in case he needs me or something. But yeah, so I don't communicate well in my personal
Hey,
life.
Guitar Bob.
That's my wife's job.
You know, I have to keep my cell phone on me because if my brother contacts me and I don't contact him within 2 flippin'
Oh,
minutes,
yeah.
he's calling the cops. You know, he's like, that's just my overprotective brother. Yeah, he's my big
Yeah,
brother.
I had to say to a
that's
couple of
sweet
people,
of
just
him.
because you're potentially available 24/7 doesn't mean that you're actually available 24/7.
I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone, right, one day, and my brother's texting me. And I didn't see the text because I'm like this, blah, 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 right? And so I didn't see the text. He's like, are you, because I was talking to her. She's my girlfriend. I can talk to her
Yeah.
for an hour. And so I was
Mm.
talking to her for a long time. And I get off the phone. And it's like my text is blasting and my brother's calling me. I'm like, will you chill? I am, I'm a grown ass woman. I can take care of myself,
The thing is, like, I always think, like, you never know what's happening at the other end. The other person could literally be washing their hair, taking the dog for a walk, or lying bleeding out after an RDA. They might answering the phone may not be the highest priority in that second. Or
Well,
they might just be
exactly.
thinking, do you know what? I don't want to answer the fucking phone.
Maybe I'm
It's
asleep.
like you can't like to me, I'm always like I try and look at like a pattern because often people, you know, people follow a rough pattern of how they respond or what time frame it's likely to be in or that kind of thing. And then if there's a change, I'm like, oh, are they okay? Or have I
Hmm.
potentially, upset them or whatever?
Right.
And that's kind of the way I look at it. So
Yeah, or sometimes
yeah.
those communications go missed. Like I said, sometimes like you tag me in comments, I don't even know I get them until months later because I don't even see them.
No,
Like for
it's all
some
good.
reason YouTube doesn't tell me when I get like mentioned in things. I'm like,
That's
oh,
why I've shared things with you on the community tab, and then thought he's probably not going to see that, so I'll just email them.
better chances emailing me.
Yeah,
It's more
it's like because
direct
I
at
really want you
least.
to see this. So
I can be bad about email too though, because I have too many of them.
yeah, and
I
this is the thing.
I've
Like some people have got loads of accounts; they're on like 10 platforms. And it's why
I
I've
have
purposely
3 and
not
it's
gone on loads of
enough.
different. Yeah, this is why I've purposely not gone on like loads and loads of platforms. It's just it's too much.
Yeah, yeah, and then I have like 2 different texting mechanisms or 3. It's like, oh my God, yeah, there's or 4
Yeah.
actually if you count Instagram.
Cedric, the carrier pigeon, always at the window. It's just too much to keep up with. Always wanting extra
It's
seed. He's fucking rude, I tell you what.
Did you get my carrier pigeon? And the
the owl
carrier
from
pigeon's
Harry
like
Potter.
fucking dead somewhere. It's just like wrapped up in a fucking airplane jet engine or something. Just
Scary you thinking cartoons like
Oh,
I do sometimes. So this is another
yeah.
interesting type of
Pookie.
introvert. Who is that?
Pookie needs poking with a stick.
Pookie needs poking. That
Either
sounds
that or a
like a
mirror.
children's book. Pookie needs poking.
Stop it, Pookie. There was this. Okay, I gotta say something to that. There was a woman, and she worked for Wells Fargo, and I want to say this was last year. I don't know. You have to Google it, but I think it was last year, and you can Google it. It was totally in the news. She
That's
died
just
at
what I
her
was just
desk.
thinking.
She
Oh
died at
no,
her
the one that
desk. She
you,
was
oh, the
62.
one
She
that you
died at her
mentioned.
desk, and nobody noticed for 3 days. I think we may have talked about this.
Yeah, you did mention that before. That's
That's a
Until
valued
the
employee.
boss comes over. I'm gonna need you to put or make sure you put some cover sheets on the TPS reports.
Yeah, basically. I think we did talk about that last week because of the work stress. Yes. Yeah, so
Hey,
yeah,
Beth.
Pookie, it's
Oh, I was
not gonna happen though, because
when I
somebody here would definitely look for you. I would
Yeah.
look for you. So
Yeah.
no,
Come
that's
on.
not gonna happen. Not to you. You don't say
Justine,
something. You're not in pole vaults chat. I'm looking for you.
I
Anyway,
I had myself a good little laugh last week when I saw workplace stress, and I was like, you know, you want to know how I deal with workplace stress? I don't talk about it when I'm not working. I'm like,
that is key.
I
I think
refuse to
that's
indulge
a
in it. Yeah.
thing. Yeah, just a flashback to last week. I had a conversation with my girlfriend because her neighbor, she was talking to her neighbor about work, right? And he said to her, "Wow, you are intense." And it's like, she was like, "Wait a minute, maybe I need to stop." And it's like, "Yeah, I've been trying to tell you this." But
It'll
I'm
catch on
familiar
eventually.
with, I'm too familiar.
Mm.
We see each other every day. We live 10 minutes away from each other, right? So we're like sisters. And so I gently will try to say, "I know you're stressed out. You need to go out. You need to leave work away. You need to walk away and breathe and go touch
See, that-
grass and
I
get
feel like
your feet bare and go
feel
like
like
literally
that's-
walk in your lawn. Go. Get some earth energy. Stop it. Ground yourself.
I feel like
Literally.
that's
I
why we
told her
have
to do that.
friends.
Well, I think
But-
there's some types of people too, like they have to crash before they can recover. Like if that is some people's method, and if that's their method, that's okay. It's nice to know about it before.
Right.
That's why we have-
She's
I think
just,
that's
she
why we
is
have
intense.
friends.
And she takes it personally. I know she does. Because it's easy to do that. I stopped doing that years ago because it's not personal. It is what, it's the nature of the working beast of what I'm in. Right? They
it's
look at me
kinda-
as the enemy. I'm not, but that's how they look at me. Gary
Gary
Hubs!
Chubbs.
I am lucky in the sense that, like, when I was very young, I made the mistake of complaining to my dad about like an early job, and he was like, "What are you, fucking stupid? No one said you have to like work. You just got to
Right.
get paid. So, give me a check. Fucking
Exactly.
call me shit. That's fine. Just give me the check."
Right.
In my personal life, no, not so much.
Right. Right.
But work, whatever.
Work for like I do. I take pride in my work, but it is a paycheck. It's not what I love. What I love
Yeah.
is this music, this show, doing stuff with you guys.
So at
that I
least you-
consider like my life work.
You
right?
can be
There's-
big enough to say that I'm using them as much as they're using me. I want
Yeah,
something. They want
Absolutely.
something.
Yeah,
And-
I think of it like boxes that I'm ticking of things that I personally need. Like when I go into work, I'm getting exercise, I'm getting food, I'm getting money. So it's like, that for me is like, okay, that's a good reason to do this.
Right.
Did any of you people? I know nobody watches TV anymore, but there was this show on Apple TV. It was about, I forget the name of it, but it was about like these people who volunteered to have this chip put in their head, and when they got to
man.
their office, and they no longer have memories about their life while they're at work, and when they leave work, they have no memory of what they do at work.
There you
It's
go.
like
That's what
Black
people
Mirror.
need to start shutting off. Now,
Some like
It
working
sounded
from
great at the
home,
beginning, yeah.
Working from home, it's a challenge, but what I've learned how to do is I don't just sit right down after work, right? I go and do stuff. Like I'll go out, or I will clean my house, or
Oh, yeah.
make a
feel like-
meal, or do something. I have to do something,
yeah.
and it
For me-
shakes off that work crap.
For me,
you
work
know?
from home means I have other shit I need to do. Usually I monitor work, but I'm working in the yard because it's nice out, and then I'll work all night. I always give. I won't just take it, but I don't always do it. During office
I
hours.
feel like that whole
Okay.
chip thing would be a great way to exploit people.
Oh, that's what. Of course, that's what it turned out to be. And it
Yeah.
starts off like, "Oh, this is such a good idea. If I could just not deal with my
Because
work shit
I'd
at
like
home."
to know what I did at work, or at least what
Well,
my
now
job was.
what I do,
Like,
I
suddenly I'm on OnlyFans, and I'm like, what the fuck?
only feet, only toes.
Onions.
But the thing is, with my job, is I get paid hourly. That is the nice thing about where I got hired. In the industry, it's not really heard of to get paid. You have to. I'm on a higher level of closer than a lot of people at other bigger banks because just of the way they did it. So I get paid hourly, which means I get to work early. I'm at work sometimes at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm working that way because come 9 o'clock, these people will start bothering me with random stupid questions and here, dump of documents. You got to review 13 documents, and then there's all your due diligence and stuff. You got to pile in the
people
file
feel
and
like-
organize, and it's
You just
Yeah.
feel like people just like.
so
heap
I
shit
give
on
myself, and I get paid. You pay me, and then you make me work through my lunch. You pay me, and then you pay me time and a half. So I'm expensive.
You. And that's the thing that like.
So
most
I
people-
don't work after 4 o'clock. I'm done.
That's the thing,
Eastern Daylight Time, folks. I'm done. It shuts off.
That's the thing I
Goodbye.
wish people would understand is like to stop dumping things. You know, just task after task, or expectation after expectation on people. Like with me, it's like I'm very
Beth.
like my patience is very short, and it's like as soon as people start going, "Hey, since you're here, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this?" I'm like, "No."
Oh, that's
Stop
yeah.
it.
Oh
Like-
no, yeah. We
You know,
big on us
that's
doing stuff like that. Too.
You
It's
just
bad.
have to like. When I was in the army, right? A teenage kid. I was 17 years old. Went into basic training, which is the most structured environment you can
Oh, yeah.
be in. Is in basic training, right? And there were people who failed and people who got through it. I got through it because I said, I can't do anything about this. I either have to go all in or get the hell out, kind of thing. And I just gave into the process, and I got through fine, and I was able to do my own thing. But you're fighting against the natural current, so
Yeah.
just give in. It don't make a difference.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's
but
my
there's-
thing,
but there's
too.
a
See,
lot of
what you could
people-
do too
but
is
see,
this. You could say, okay, not a problem. You got it. All right. And not do any of it. Nobody will know.
Well,
Well,
that's
then-
the
then
thing
that's
too.
totally
Is
on them
that,
for
but
expecting
in my
you to.
job, I have to be careful about saying, "Okay, go ahead," because
Right.
it's my ass and it's federal law that I have to follow.
Yeah,
So
or when it's like
it's called
multiple
jail or
people.
$250,000 fine, and I don't have $250,000. So it's your ass, not mine.
Or-
See, that's
when
how I
it's-
do it.
when
So
it's a ton of
I get
people.
my manager or my manager's manager, really, because my poor manager doesn't know what's going on right now. So it's a whole different freaking story. But she'll come in, she's awesome, and will back me up on things. Yes, you need this or you need sanctions to approve it. Get that. Have fun. So, but it's just certain things that once I get her approval, I don't care as long as it's not my butt. Okay? That's all I care about.
Well, who pays you?
honestly.
Does,
my
do
my
they pay you
manager-
as an employee or a consultant?
They pay me as an employee that I work for, that I
Then ultimately
report
they're
to a manager.
responsible for anything you do on a job. You know?
Well, they'll fire me though and hold
Yeah,
me
well,
responsible. That's just how banks will do you. I know. I've seen it many times. So I'm not putting myself in that position, and that's why I would love to get out of banking.
But like, what really gets me is when it's just a lot of people, like just all like just people in general. Like I have this issue where every time I
Aloha,
go into a,
sis.
whenever I go into a place like Dollar Tree where I used to work at one point, people still think I work there.
Oh no!
And it's that they're always coming up to me asking me for shit, and that drives me insane.
No.
It is
Yeah.
so
It's
irritating.
awful.
For especially
you're
for
not
like the
still
first
wearing the
month
same-
after I.
You're
was
not
that?
wearing a uniform, are you?
What?
Maybe you should stop
No.
wearing a uniform, eh?
No, I've had people come up to me where I'm wearing a Sbarro
So you-
shirt
Urban,
with a giant pizza slice on the back, and they're
Urban's
like,
got-
"Do you work here?"
Does it?
you're giving off Five Below energy.
They're not Dollar Tree stores anyway. They're $5 tree stores. They're
Yeah,
those
now with
places.
inflation.
It's
Just
like
think,
people just
We're
constantly.
Yeah.
beginning at 5, yeah.
Yeah, Len,
There's
what's up?
people who just talk at me and just be like, "Hey,
yeah.
tell me where this is," and I'll just outright ignore them. And it gets kind of funny because they will like literally come back, like come closer. So, hey, I'm talking to you, and I'm like, "Hey, I don't work here, fucker." Like,
Oh, what was up,
and I
Lenny?
can do that
mean,
now because
yeah.
I don't work here. you
Yeah.
know?
If that is what a person is doing, then yeah, they fully like deserve that. Like, if I have thought someone worked at a place, but I would at least go up to and say, "Excuse me, do you work here?" I'm not just gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. You don't
spouting
want
on
to
'em,
assume
Do
too
that
much.
all the
I
time.
mean,
It's
and that's
ridiculous.
it's bad enough assuming someone works at a place and they're like, "Why? No, I don't."
Yeah. Lemmy, what were you gonna say?
It was just a word came to mind when you were talking about like doing things like cooking or whatever.
Yeah.
It sounded like sublimation. I've heard like people doing certain tasks rather than like punch somebody or punch a wall. It's like because I've had
Yeah.
times where I've like done mad house cleaning at 2 o'clock in the morning because I can't sleep and I'm either stressed or pissed off about something, and it's like, right, I'm gonna attack the kitchen like because I lived in shared houses for many years, and the ideas of like kitchen and or personal hygiene vary greatly between people. So,
Yeah.
And I
I
just
hear ya.
refused at times to keep doing it, but then like it would be weeks and like you
Yeah,
couldn't see the
oh.
kitchen counters anymore, and I would just be like, right, I've had enough. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to go down and do it all.
I
Put
feel
my
like you've
headphones in.
bottled it
Yeah.
up. You've bottled it up, and like you decided to use that like as like adrenaline.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
channeling.
Yeah,
It's channeling
it's-
it. Yeah, like
I
I
do
would.
that
For,
with my
Like a
job, too.
battle. It was like a
Yeah.
battle between like I don't want to live in a dump or like somewhere where there's new life forms evolving in the corner. But
no,
at the
Right,
I
same
truly,
yeah.
yeah, I
at the
truly
same
Wow.
time,
believe.
we're all the
Yeah.
same age, and I'm not your mum.
Right.
I,
yeah,
I,
that's
I
gotta
believe
be
when your
insane.
house is a mess, you're a mess. It's like it affects your brain. There is nothing like
it
walking
does.
in your door and going, "Yeah, this is why I like to come home."
I'm
So,
super picky about
Yeah.
my house in the way it is, right? So I have to vacuum my damn house every day. I am obsessed with that. I have to. I have cats, right? And they get litter. And I see one little piece of litter and I'm like, it's coming up. I'm a fanatic about that. I'm a fanatic about my kitchen being
Laurie.
clean.
Yeah.
Certain places. But then, then you look at my bedroom and it's not so much. But that's kind of, but there's certain spaces, that my main
if
house
you-
is
if-
good.
If you have like an exceedingly busy week, are you okay in letting it go too? Like, I can't deal with this right now.
I've let it go a day or two.
like, I mean,
I was
sometimes you have to-
sick and I had to because I was ill. I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
So,
My,
but then after that, I was like, oh, I gotta get this done, but
Yeah.
and
There's
I got
certain
it
tasks
done.
You can,
Like
certain
most-
tasks you can kind of
Lori,
a little bit.
hey sis.
until they get to be really bad, like
I know.
dishes. I can't have too many dishes sitting around. Anything more than like 3 plates, a handful of silverware, a couple cups, it's got to be washed. Like there's.
Oh, I put stuff in my I have a dishwasher now.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh my God!
never had one before
I
in
don't
my
remember
life.
pre-dishwasher life.
I never had one, Dom. I've
yeah.
lived
This
on
is
my
your first
own
one
since
Oh,
I was
ooh,
19
congratulations.
and I just got my first dishwasher and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I literally feel lazy because I'm
I
so
would
used
too.
to hand
you know,
washing
you know
dishes.
what really gets bad is like if like we have 4 people in our house, and God forbid if like my wife or myself forget to turn on the dishwasher, and you wake up the next morning
I
and like the
know.
first
Damn,
thing of your day, like
still
God,
food on
the whole day is done. It's
I
over. I'm just going back to bed.
Yeah. You know, one thing that makes me introverted: other people's messes, and people love to
you
leave
know.
messes. Like, I mean, I think we're going back to the conversation we had last week. I don't know if it was like still alive or not. We're talking about toilets. And
I don't remember if we were still alive. But go ahead, it's fine.
but like,
Doesn't
yeah,
matter.
reasons to not like people is stepping into their fucking messes.
I've got a
quite
really
literally
bad
sometimes.
office toilet story if you really want to hear it. And it's not a kid's show. It's pretty bad. I think it's pretty bad.
Just
I think I'm good not knowing.
just before you do, Beth is saying that her dishwasher is called Grant, and Rachel is saying that their dishwasher's name is Rachel. And it
Oh my
reminded me that
God.
we used to ask our parents if we could get a dishwasher, and they would always say, "Why do we need one of those when we've got you and your sibling?"
That was my mom growing up.
Yeah, well,
We had you for child labor. How
Yeah.
does that make you feel?
And my mother had a dishwasher. That was the last time I had a dishwasher was when I was back at my parents' house. And I remember that, that they were really adamant about getting those types of appliances.
mow
Now
my
I
lawn.
understand why after, so many years of being on my own.
When I was
Kidding.
like 14, I took over doing the lawn from my dad. But here's the thing: when you're doing landscaping, you're like excused from everything. So I was like, I'm outside. I got my
Right.
doobies stashed
Yeah,
in the hedges. So I'm like,
landscaping's the
I'm around the
bomb.
corner getting stoned and just mowing all day. you
Yeah.
know?
No,
And it was so much better than having to like help my sister dust and vacuum and shit like that.
And it's like I don't want
Yeah.
to do my lawn anymore. Let's make a baby. use them for labor for the next several years.
Oh, so
I,
labor, yeah.
I recently had to, I work a lot of hours, so I was coming home and just taking it easy, and I was just like really going bonkers, like my whole life is spent trying to balance the pieces to make
Yeah.
myself comfortable.
Right.
So I was like, I'm giving myself way too much time to decompress, and it's not working. I need to eat. I need to hit with an equal force. So I came home and I called my landscaper. I was like, dude, you done? He's like, what, you unhappy? I'm like, no, I have to do this because I need to do something. So now I just get home from work because I'm
Do
in
your
the office.
lawn.
And I put
Yeah.
on my lawn boy clothes and I just go outside till dinner's
See,
ready. And
I do that.
And,
Yes.
I come home, I come in, my back's aching, I'm tired, and I was like, and now I'm relaxed, kind of thing. So
Yeah, because you've done some exertion, right?
yeah,
Just
I
like
got it
grinding,
out of
cleaning,
me.
That's exertion
right.
too.
I got it
That's a
out
lot
of me. It's
exertion.
in a healthy area. It's good for me. The house looks better.
See, I
We're
was-
saving
Yeah.
money because I'm doing it myself. So yeah.
I like
I
the
was-
smell of cut grass too.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I did my lawn today because it's been raining here so much that it's getting really thick, right? And I like to cut my lawn short early so it doesn't get screwy.
How short?
So I
Just, short, not so short that it's down to the ground, but a nice short length so it doesn't, get too long.
So when
But
I was-
that's a nice. I do that during work time sometimes. So
Yeah.
I'll go
It's,
out and do my
what's the
lawn.
greatest time to do it? Yeah.
Yeah, like
So
during
when
work
I
time.
was when I was younger, I was in Boy Scouts, and see how I turned out. But so I was in Boy Scouts, and I thought, this would be cool because I get to go camping, I
Have
get
a
to
good
like
one, Sparky.
socialize and make friends and all that stuff, and this would be really cool. So I think what happened was that the Scoutmaster had my idea, but amplified it about having kids for for manual labor, because I think the only reason why he was a Scoutmaster is because he wanted fucking free manual labor from us as scouts, because instead of camping, it became we were working on his fucking lawn, we were working on his garden. We were doing
Right.
house.
For a batch,
Really? At his
right?
house? Yeah. Wow.
That's kinda
Oh God,
cheesy.
what a beautiful time that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be in like prison today.
Right?
That's
I mean,
funny.
so much. We did weird stuff. I was in Girl Scouts too.
You know,
You
it's
see how I
like
turned out.
I listen to like people like to talk a lot about, oh, kids are so lazy. When we were kids, I'm like, and I was a kid that age, and now I'm older, and I was like, man, I would not let my kids do the shit my parents fucking let me because they had
Right.
no idea, They
Right,
had no
right.
clue. They were just like,
Right.
get out of the house.
Yeah,
and we were
just-
gone.
That was it. Yeah, I mean, Gen X hashtag. That we were kicked out of the house. Get the hell out. Do something.
Yeah.
Go. Don't stay in the house.
I know.
Um,
I don't know.
we were.
I don't know if it was the same in the States, but over here it was like being latchkey kids as well.
Oh
Like, both
yeah, I was a
parents got
latchkey
work
kid.
and like, yeah.
My parents owned a business. Owned two. They owned two businesses. And when I got
That makes sense.
my mom would work hard to get home when I was young, but after age 9, I was on my own. At about 10, 11, I had the key around my neck, but I wasn't in the latchkey program. My parents trusted me to come home, unlock, so I had the key on me. I would unlock the door and be home by
You
myself
had a
until.
program. You
Well,
had a
yeah, they had
program.
it.
They
had a program in
we
school.
just used to have the key like in our pocket or on a keychain, so it's a bit bigger because you'd only ever have one key, sort of thing. So what was
Yeah.
the program? Did they like keep your keys safe or something? Or
No, you could stay after school until your parents
I
picked you up.
see. They had like an after school club here, which wasn't so much a thing when we were younger, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did like
It is
after school
now.
activities after a while. I just knew my parents wouldn't be home,
We
so
do like
I
breakfast
told
clubs
them I'm
now
gonna
with
go
always-
run or join this or that and join a couple of sports, and I did
Where-
do that when I was younger.
We're in the practice stage now. Like, all right, we're gonna go to dinner, and here's because their grandmother usually picks them up from school and stays with them, but like she's in her mid-70s now, so we're like, there's gonna come
Right.
a point.
Give
This is
grandma
gonna
a
be really
break,
hard
man.
for her. So like we
Yeah.
have to start getting them used to being alone.
Yeah, well, you know what? My parents were older, okay, much older. So they were really big on me being independent and being able to take care of myself. I was making myself food at 7 years old. I'm like cooking at 7, right? Because they wanted me to be able to take care of myself. My dad was 60 years old when I was born.
Oh
You
wow!
know,
Oh yeah. Okay.
he
I don't
passed
feel
away
so
when I
bad
was-
now.
He passed away when I was 22, but and he told me, he said, I didn't even think I'd see you turn 18, so I'm good,
Right.
and I knew how to take care of myself because, they let me do these things at a really young age. So it's not terrible to make sure your kids know how to do stuff. And,
Yeah.
I learned how to not burn myself after burning myself a couple times, It didn't
You
kill
gotta
me.
you have to teach them how to do it, and then you have to just shut your mouth when they fuck it all up.
Yep, that's what I had to do with my stepson too. It's like,
Yeah.
he just, okay, you show him, if you screw it up, well, that's life. Now you've learned from the screw up.
Yeah.
Because really, that's the only way you're gonna learn is when you
Yep.
screw stuff up. I've screwed up everything.
That's the only way you learn. No one
Hey,
learns
Rhett,
anything
balls,
if they
dude.
know how to do it. You only learn how to do things you don't know how to do. So, that's,
Exactly.
That's how you get smart, by doing shit and messing it up.
I'm glad I'm not the only one here, because I thought, what is Mixed Club saying? And then I thought,
Yeah, I
oh,
thought you said genital. I
it
thought
means
you
he's
said
been a
being
genial
genital.
man or a gentleman. But no, it's too late. It's too late, right?
He had all the right all the right letters for genital.
I'll
Just
be back
wasn't
in
in the
a
right
minute.
order.
You have
Yeah,
to
I
you have to read Rhett to be able to understand.
It's like you gotta be good at puzzles, like,
He's
or like
being a
those
genital.
word scrambles.
It's great. I think
Oh
it's
Lord.
good exercise.
Yeah,
Sometimes
he gives us like a little brain teaser every once in a
God,
while, reading
that's a
his
good one.
comments.
He's so I see. I was just going to say that Rhett's a good sport as well, and then he's done an angry orange face. Literally, just as I was
Hey,
going
he's
to
just
say it.
constipated.
He's just throwing out emojis at this point, Limey. If I know Rhett, and I think I do. Oh gosh, that's funny. The fun point is like the fourth type of introvert is something I think Dom was talking about just a few minutes ago, which was restrained introverts may overthink their actions and be more reserved about what they do and say. And
More or less.
See,
To some degree with me.
maybe you're not so much such a restrained introvert.
I would say probably 3 out of 4 of these types. Restrained is probably the least of the.
Maybe Dom is more of a restrained introvert than you, perhaps.
Yes, not an adjective I would normally ascribe to E. Restrained.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, and we,
have
I can
some
personally
discretion.
speak for myself that I like that about you, E. But
I do have some discretion. I have rules. Ones that ones that
I'm sure you could be. I'm sure you could get yourself banned off YouTube if you weren't careful.
No, E does it in good spirit. E's always, it's not
that's the thing. Like I
nasty.
say, the first few times I saw E in the chat, I was like, "Oh, hang on," and then it was like, judge everyone else's reaction, see what's going on. Everyone else is laughing or just carrying on. It's like, oh, it's good. That's clear.
Yeah.
see.
He's a friend.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like what
funny.
I've done was I've cracked some kind of like code a little bit. See, I figured this out in school. Okay, if I can say something inappropriate but make people laugh, it becomes like almost so acceptable that the consequences don't matter. I did this with teachers a lot. I'd make a comment in class and they'd be like, "That is not right. You need to go to the principal's office, you bastard." And then they have to write a report and they'd have to write down verbatim what I said. And then they pass it along to someone else and they'd be laughing their asses off. By the end of it, all the consequences have fucking evaporated.
Right, because it's just silly. Yeah, I had this girlfriend in high school
good.
that would do
Yeah, same.
stuff in class that was crazy. Sorry, Lenny.
Same as people. No, I was just going to say, like you're saying, I'm more social in online chat than in real life, and that's one of the things that I like about like being around streamers or even get to know people in comments, which I've done on other channels over the years. It's like there's that thing of like you can type something out, read it, and go, "Oh my god, that makes no sense," and then just delete it again. But once you've said something, it's out there. You can't like scoop the air vibrations back. So yeah, it's like shit.
Yep. Oh,
But
tell me about that.
even then, the amount of times I've hit return and gone, I really didn't want to send that.
So many times
Or
have
how
I
many
typed
times I've
things out and then realized that someone in chat would take it as innuendo and went bleep,
Yeah,
bleep, bleep,
it's-
delete,
it's
delete,
so
delete,
good.
delete.
There's-
And then
there's
other
that.
times I've let it fly and it's like, damn it.
Well, with me, it's like I type something and I'm like, I just do it.
Yeah, he's just like,
Throwing a grenade, like I'll see where it lands and hope for the best, I guess.
oh, but those are good times though. It just, if it's done in good humor, if it's funny.
Absolutely.
I used to be in this one chat. It used to be good. It's terrible now, but it used to be good. And one of the points was make the mainstreamer laugh. If you're making the mainstreamer laugh and you're like trollish, but you're making him laugh, you can stay. As long as you're funny and not being mean about it, you're okay. And we had a few trolly people in there, but they ended up cool. And so it just depends on how you treat that. It's the spirit of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so
Absolutely.
there was something else out. Also, what this article talks about, right, is extroverted introverts and introverted extroverts, which was kind of cool. Because that's
So it's-
kind of how I view myself, is an
They
extroverted
sound like
introvert.
I'm in the Audi.
the software that you could turn like into like popples or something where you turn them
Why
into.
do people have to fit into
Yeah.
groups?
Well,
Can't there be like 28 billion different groups? For as many, everybody's a little bit different.
Well,
well, yeah, and
human
that's the
it's
good
like
thing.
We
a
group
person
together.
that is mainly an introvert, but you can adapt your behavior to social settings, right? So you're mainly an introvert, but you can be extroverted if coaxed, I suppose. That's kind of how I feel about myself. I can be coaxed.
Yeah, I think like a lot of, especially people in the arts, are primarily introverted people, and yet what they love doing forces them in front of people. So
Yeah.
that's kind of an ironic kind of situation there too.
Like, yeah, like with like doing comedy, like I do like to make people laugh. It is a good feeling for me. I
Gee,
get
I know
kind
you're
of
not.
I mean, it's like I'm introverted, but like if I can get like if I can get a whole room to laugh, like I feel like I won. Like so it's
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I think that's me too, like being pushed out, like I was talking about at 9 years old on a stage with a big audience and doing that throughout my whole school career, right, as a student. I was a totally shy kid. I was painfully shy. Painfully shy. Would cry if I had to be around people, like bad. So, as a child. So, that for me, it was good in ways, broke me out. So maybe it created that a little bit of extroversion that way, being able to perform, perhaps. I don't
Like
know how that works.
my
Though.
my, I have one kid who really doesn't like to do things he doesn't like to do. He knows exactly what he wants, and that's my favorite thing about
five.
him. It also turns out to be sometimes the thing that holds people back the most.
Right.
So I just told him, was like, don't think of it as, don't think about the event. Think about you achieving the goal of making it through, and let that be a victory. Yeah,
Right,
This
there you
this
go, yeah.
sucks, but learn how to feel good about putting yourself in a bad situation and coming out okay. And he's been, and he's been trying that a little bit, and I think maybe it helps. Either that, or he's probably just sitting in his room when I go, "Oh, my fucking father."
Right. These stupid dads making me do this.
This too shall pass. This too shall pass. It's like,
Well, and I had to, because I would get really, really nervous when I was really young, first doing this stuff, especially when I was doing the solo and ensemble stuff, right? Because they made you practice, practice, practice all these really complex classical pieces in the violin. And then you had to play them in front of people in the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, and they were judging you. And for a little kid, for somebody that's 12, that was heavy,
Yeah.
So I remember losing sleep over that, and I had to think, just like you said, I just got to get through it. I'll get through it. I've
Yeah,
practiced.
it's not right.
I know
It's
my
not
shit.
about-
I'll get through it. Right.
And it's not even about how you get through it. It's just about getting through it.
You do your
Nice.
best. You try to take pride in your work. That's, kind of something that's always been instilled in me. But you right. Just get me through it. That's all I have to do. This is just one day.
And was this
Bam.
like the very first level? Like,
Yeah.
there should be like, there should like how my kids in rec sports, which means even though it's competitive, it's not competitive.
Right.
And they're right. I remember having to go to like when I was in the high school bands, and you go to these different events and you compete and stuff like that. And if you don't really want to compete, you're not going to do as good. It's like, so it would be good to have a non-competitive way to do
kind of
it.
going in half
Well,
cocked.
the solo and ensemble wasn't too bad. When I was soloing, it wasn't necessarily, you were kind of competing against your classmates, but I didn't see it. Now that I think about it, I really didn't see it like that. I saw it as competing against myself. and my own personal best, right? And trying to do the best, reaching for that. So the 4 was the highest score. 1 was the worst, right? So I was reaching for the 4 as high as I could get. I would try to do that. If I did better than my classmates, great. If I didn't, that's fine too. You know, you had somewhere to compare yourself to, but I did have one rival, but it was more a joking, friendly rivalry because we were really good friends. We were really close. It wasn't
you
that.
feed
It was
off
just
each
more
other.
like a brother
Yeah.
and sister thing. Yeah.
And you'd be just
That's
as
all it
happy
was.
if she beat you, right?
Yeah, and we're still friends with the guy.
That's
I
a
mean,
healthy,
you know,
that's, yeah.
you know, I mean, that's like 30 years later, 40 years later, I'm still friends with the guy. You know, so that'll tell you something. It was just a friendly competition type of thing. It
It's
wasn't,
nice when
it
someone's
wasn't
better
mean.
at something than you, and you just like, instead of being like, you know, envious of their skill, you just learn from them.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
he was
Yeah,
he was a
like
good player, and
musicians.
I was a good player. We were very different, so we would learn from each other. He was very cool. He was.
What-
It was just a thing where I had a teacher that was very into guys playing, not girls. He wanted girls to be the teachers and the guys to be in the orchestras, right? So he favored my friend over me, and that's what caused the rivalry. It really wasn't us. It was just when we got into that class, we were like, you know, it just
But
went.
it's like
It was time to
musicians.
fight, and then after class, we were cool. It was like that cartoon, Bugs Bunny with the wolf and the dog, with the coyote and the dog, and they're back and forth, and they check in. And they're not friends at work, and then they check out and they're fine. They're buddies and
Yeah.
they drink a beer. Yeah, that was exactly how it was.
It was Urban. You were gonna say like with musicians. So I was a musician. You know, I mean most of my life, but I was
Was.
playing in clubs and bars and stuff in like the '80s and '90s, and it was so stupidly competitive
Yeah.
that to the point of like and so many people are so on
Uptight.
being better than somebody. It was like,
Yeah, I knew
it's
people like
just-
that, back in those
kills the
days.
It's
spirit
just
of it.
ridiculous.
It's so
Uh-huh.
fucking.
I have an ex that was
Backwards.
like that. You know what
No,
we called
I
him?
like-
I don't even know if I can say this on YouTube. Jazz Nazi. We called him that. And he was. Oh, it's terrible. Oh my god.
I think it's so much better. You find people that emulates things you would like to be better about yourself and become their friend and let it, and you get to know them and that shit
Yeah,
just
you
kind of
learn their
seeps
secrets.
into you.
You
Yeah.
learn their
So,
tricks.
they're,
You-
they're just like so
share.
small-minded.
right.
Like,
Oh,
you'll
God.
share ideas and stuff like that. So.
Well, and what's interesting what this article points out is I think that
Same.
introverts and extroverts,
Right.
it's all on a spectrum, just like what we're finding pretty much everything else is, right? And I think you can switch back and forth between the two depending on the situation. We're all pretty adaptable as human beings. So that's something I think I'm learning about myself. Well, I always thought I was totally introverted, but I'm not completely introverted. I mean, obviously.
You can't be if you have a YouTube fucking
I have a
channel.
YouTube. Exactly, Tom.
You can't be
Exactly my
that
point.
introverted. Yeah, no, it's exactly, yeah.
No, I mean, I sing. That's not introversion. I have my tendencies toward that. I do like my alone time. And I take that very seriously. I turn my phone on Do Not Disturb, and sometimes I don't notice it ringing. Or whatever. And so sometimes that's why I don't answer messages right away either. I'm reading, I'm doing something for me, because I need to for my mind. I'm practicing, I'm writing down lyrics, I'm doing something.
I can
My,
handle you guys. Like you guys aren't cutting me off in traffic or nothing. So.
Right.
I like from this. I like to decompress. I do like a good movie, but luckily, like my wife is a movie nut, so she
Cool.
researches and stuff, and
Nice.
she'll have like a whole queue of like these are good movies. If Dom,
That's
wants to watch it,
awesome.
and she picks out the most cool friggin' movies.
Can she
so-
pick me out some? I'd like
I'll
that.
ask- I'll
I
ask- I'll
love
tell her.
that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really good.
Please.
And we
I
go
love
from
film.
like cult films to like just this whole broad spectrum.
Oh yeah. I'm into that. I love films too.
Remember
yeah, I like movies too.
remember the show Chad used to do with the movie night?
Yes, I love
So that
that.
was I went to Chad. I was like, Chad, listen, man, I have like a real cool idea because I know you like movies. And like, but I was like, I'm never gonna do that. So like,
Right.
if you think you could do it, please. And then he was doing good for a while, and people were picking different movies and then all watching them together.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, yeah.
We were watching some movies. Some of us weren't watching any movies. Carrie.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah. She's
yeah.
never gonna watch movies.
But I did a couple of movie reviews with Lisa Noel, right? I did what's the one movie called?
Sinners.
No, it was the one after that. I didn't do
One
Sinners. I
battle
did
after another.
that one, and that was a really good movie, and I'm
And
really glad I saw
Frankenstein.
it. And Frankenstein. Oh, I love Frankenstein. But the movie was good. Of course, it's my favorite book of all time. So I've read the novel, and it's amazing. So, but the movie, it was nice to be able to find. I've been meaning to see that movie for months,
right.
right? And I got to watch it with a purpose, which was cool. I like kind of sometimes having a purpose to watch. Yeah, it's something. I'm like analyzing things. I'm stupid and terrible.
Well, I mean, that's one of the I like watching movies for that. Like, I don't always watch it for the story, and I'm just like, man, that is a really good camera shot. You know that kind of stuff
Right.
is equally like when movies are made on low budget but they hit huge. You know, it's like it's the most amazing thing there is.
Yeah,
So they're
it's,
entertaining on all kinds of levels, like in an
And-
artistic way, a story way.
right in different types of movies. Like One Battle After Another is very different from Frankenstein, right? In that it's got in wouldn't say more serious subject matter, but different. It's dealing with completely different things, right?
Wait, are you
So-
talking about that last Frankenstein movie?
Yeah, the one
That was
Guillermo del
fucking-
Toro's.
That was great.
It was really
Yeah,
I
great.
thought it was amazing. It was almost like turning, like the guy did when he wrote, the musical that's out now, Wicked.
Oh yeah,
like,
okay. Yeah,
Reading Wicked was like, I have never been swayed so much. I mean, I remember growing up, the Witch of the East was like one of the top 5 most villainous people
Right.
you've ever seen,
Yeah.
you know? And,
Yeah.
and when I read Wicked, and it was like, holy shit.
That's a really cool take
Like,
on it. Yeah.
you know, how dare us see her that way kind of thing. And that's what, and whatever we started off talking about.
Well, that's the cool thing about this conversation.
Oh,
right? It's
in
like
Frankenstein, it totally changed Frankenstein's perspective for you. You know?
Yeah, well, in what was cool about that film, because again, that's my favorite novel, and I've read it and reread it. I had to do it for college, but it ended up being my favorite book. I didn't get sick of it. That's also Guillermo del Toro's favorite novel. And so he stayed very true to that, not as true as he could in a film, I think, in my opinion. I don't know what other people would say that would be fans of that novel, but that's my opinion. I think he stayed very, very true to that novel as much as he could.
I would say I felt some deep, like understanding of Frankenstein when I watched Young Frankenstein. Honestly, I just felt so bad for him because he just wanted to be friends with that girl, and
Yeah, it was
and
just-
she
yeah,
lit his finger on fire, and he threw her in the lake. And I mean, that sums up my relationships with people. It's just, you're just trying your best to be friends with people, and they fuck you up. Yeah. So, and then they get you all wrong and shit. So it's like when they did the brain transfer, the mind transfer, or whatever, and he's all like well spoken. I was just like, see. I just resonate with that,
Hey, Urban, I just felt very bad for you. In my heart, I went, oh, like, do you actually still have an expectation that people will meet like your wants from them. Like I've totally given up on that. Other than my wife and my kids, but like I just go into the world thinking everyone could potentially fuck me at any moment. Let's go.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like
Let's go.
trust issues.
That's
Yeah,
how
well,
I deal
I-
with everything.
That's like traumatic. That's like trauma.
It makes it.
you know,
It equally makes it hard
experiences
for me to have friends. So, I get it.
I am a bit paranoid about people.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean
for
that is
sure.
the best way to be though, because really, you cannot have any kind of relationship unless you're totally open. You know,
I mean,
So you-
look, it's like this. Like I deal with this so frequently, and this is kind of part of my anger issues. Is where I talk about traffic a lot. I'm not kidding. Every other person that I have to be around on the road, they don't go when the light turns green, or they jump in front of me, or they people are just doing really stupid shit, and it's so frequent that it's like everybody.
And
is
can I say, you live in a
fucking bad.
very high traffic area too. I've been to your place, and you live in a very, very high traffic area.
people
and
act like
people
they
don't
drive-
know what to do.
It's like there's quaaludes in the water supply. I swear.
Even
to
my
God.
first time driving in your area, it wasn't that hard for me, but there were people like, you, where do I go? You know, and it's like, okay, like, I
you have to
got
you have to find you have to try to find a place in your life to expect that's going to happen, but
That's why I don't leave.
not react. You know, just like you know.
You know what I used to do when I had to travel in high traffic areas, like to work every day and stuff, and people drove like poo poo, was I would listen to very, very hard rock or heavy metal or hard rock, right? And the Sabbath would go on, or the best was Rage Against the Machine, hands down. And that would go on
you
11.
can't drive. You're getting arrested if you drive like cranking Rage to the Machine. You're.
No, I'm not. Nobody's arresting me.
You're living vicariously
Nobody's
No,
through
that
arresting
would
me.
make me. That would make me go. That would make me be bad.
Oh no, I'm just like rocking in the car. It actually
But Sabbath,
it's
yes.
cathartic for me. It's just like
Sabbath definitely because they're slow, like and then hard driving. Like I can't listen to Metallica and drive because you just keep going faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, you have
You
to.
know, or
You have
old
to have that
Metallica.
on the highway where if it's at least like a few miles of just straight.
Audio Slave's a
nothingness,
good one
you know.
too. Audio
Yeah.
Slave's a good
Uh,
one.
yeah,
Or
'cause they have a lot of
Soundgarden
turns,
or
you know, they have-
Alice in Chains. Anything that's like hard. You know, Alice in Chains is a great one.
Hard-
That's
hard
a
but
great one to
dynamic.
listen to the car,
Yeah.
especially like before work for me. That was really, really good. Like I would kind of let out some stress of going to work and not just coming, and of course coming home from work. That was also where I would decompress a lot of times. Is in the car coming in with that ride home and blasting the radio. You know, basically.
I listen to the news driving to work, but I
That
have
does
a
not
playlist.
relax me.
No, it doesn't relax me either, but it's like another voice, so I'm not listening to my own, like starting to process things. But driving home, I have a playlist I call the Holy Trinity, and it's like my favorite songs from Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, and Judas Priest. And
That's cool.
That is my glory, my glory time in my
You
life.
just reminded me, and it's like killing me. Actually, I went to Record Store Day yesterday, and I saw Motorhead albums, and I did not pick one up. And I need to do that. Okay, anyway, I digress. You mentioned you mentioned what was the band you just mentioned?
Maiden,
sorry.
Priest, and Sabbath.
It was Priest. It was Priest that reminded me of that. Anyway. So, yeah, introverts and extroverts.
There's a lot of them.
Well, and it's has
Has anything been solved?
it's just it's just differences and how we all kind of do.
I have a question. Like, what do the people think? So, who do you think has a higher expectation of happiness in life, extroverts or introverts?
That's a hard question.
I think, but you can like I have a very percent like in my opinion like if my life is 75% junk, right? But 25% of it really makes me happy. That 25% kind of offsets everything else. So in general, I'm happy, you know? So what's people's quotient of happiness to bullshit before they crack, you know? I would say
That's
extroverts is higher and introverts lower because they're in their head people,
Huh.
so they kind of they know what they need more than what they want.
Right, like almost like what you're saying is like bullshit tolerance, right?
Maybe, yeah, because introverts spend a lot of time thinking about themselves. Introverts are very quiet narcissists, like Gina was saying. They spend a lot of time thinking about their own actions.
No,
Well,
But I
let
think
me say this about
I am-
narcissism,
I am-
okay? You
I am
gotta.
the-
I just want to say one thing. I'm sorry.
It's so
about
overused.
narcissism. There's healthy narcissism. It's called your ego, and you should have self-esteem, okay, and self-respect and self-love. That is a low spectrum healthy narcissism. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
100%.
Go ahead. Ian.
That being said, though, I am the best narcissist that I know.
You made Tom joke.
I, I apologize. That was pure bad timing. That had nothing to do with like what you were
No, but
saying.
it was nice.
I took a
It
really big
worked
drag.
I just hope you're okay. But
right.
it was on cue.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Couldn't have
As I
planned
was
that better.
coughing, I'm like, oh, geez, I hope he don't think like he like upset me or something like that.
No, he thought it was
That-
funny.
That's all I was thinking.
It added to the humor. That's all. At least for me. Anyway, yeah, it's I just wanted, there's a lot of talk about, and I was thinking about doing a show on this, and then I decided not to really do it because there's so much crap on YouTube about narcissism and blah blah blah. Okay,
Well,
and it's become a buzzword, and I
Yeah.
don't like it.
The when people use narcissists now, it's like them saying they didn't agree with me. They're a narcissist.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're the fucking narcissist if you think that.
It's just
know?
like
Right.
any friction or falling out.
You
it's all
have
like, you're a
to
narcissist.
respect
Yeah,
other
exactly,
people's.
Limey.
You have to respect other people's opinions, but by no means are you obligated to agree with it.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm sure that you sometimes with some people you'll show a boundary which is healthy, and they will reply with you're I'm a narcissist or something, and then at that point you start to wonder about that person.
Yeah,
right.
Well, as soon as
That's
it comes up, yeah.
projection. That's just projection.
And well, exactly, but that's a part of that whole, psychological
gaslighting
crap
sort
with
of
when people are
bullshit.
messing with your mind. I don't assume, I don't like the term, I don't like those things, and also they can change and morph into each other and in certain days. So you can't pinpoint that in anyone. You're not a psychiatrist, and there's a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists that can't pinpoint it. So
That's it, like,
it's not like
people
we're
use
going to.
terms in everyday conversation that they don't necessarily are not necessarily using correctly. But when you're like that person that I've told you mentioned before, Justine, is like that was one of the things they kept saying was they're Lime is a narcissist, blah 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 blah. And then the thing was that initially I'd watched a couple of these videos because I'm like, what the hell is this? And because of that, the algorithm started throwing stuff up, and even though I wasn't clicking on them anymore, there was some coming through with titles about like being a dark empath and being on a spiritual battle against evil narcissists, right? So this person then started posting to that effect, and I'm like, oh my god, they're going down like some kind of like QAnon, but in the pop psychology world. It's like, geez.
All
You
of
know,
that.
you know
down
what
that
we
title
need?
line.
You know what we need is like,
Crazy.
I mean, if you
It is.
really a narcissist, right? In its purest term, it's in the book. It's like they're very sick people. Like they have like they have no empathy, you know,
Right.
and these aren't things they're choosing to do. They're things they just are, you know. So, like narcissist, basically, their medical condition has become is used as a euphemism for being like a fuck up. Like they need to speak out and say, "We are clinical narcissists and do not like what you're doing with our condition," you know, and make people back
Well,
off
and-
because it's used way too willy
Yeah,
nilly.
that's happened in other areas. Like, you know, I've seen
Yeah.
videos, but I've also heard people talk. Yeah, like,
I would
Do you
say
think
using the term is now is very insensitive, and I'm not a very sensitive person per se. But
Well,
just
and
wondering
get
maybe
me
it is.
here. A thing about narcissism is a lot of clinical narcissists don't get help because they don't think they need it.
Yeah,
they
'cause
think
I was
they're
about to
fine.
ask, do you think a narcissist would even admit that they're a narcissist?
Some do. There are
I mean-
some.
I mean,
okay.
Or
they're
That-
all going to, you know, most of their lives are going to end the same, you know, alone.
Right.
You know, so
Right. And if
maybe
they
I'll
don't
get
want to
smart,
end up
you know.
alone, they get smart and do.
Get help,
and
yeah.
Some do. There are a few, not a lot. You know, according
yeah.
to the psychology of
you know,
the day.
what's
right?
the thing in,
well,
like,
you dipped. Shoot.
AA is like, you know, admitting you have a problem is the first step too. You can be
let me go.
something, and
Yeah,
as
I
long as
slipped
you're
out.
aware of it, be better.
Right, exactly. You know, if you can, you know, but I have known, and again, that's a spectrum, you know, thing. It's not something that's pinpoint. You know, like I said, even psychologists they can't pinpoint that stuff. So I just don't like using that. Where'd Limey go? Darn.
so I was
We
saying,
lost
where'd Lemmy
Limey.
go?
Yeah, bummer. Ugh. Maybe he'll come back, I hope. So, anyway, yeah, I was gonna, I contemplated doing something on that and then said, no, I'm not gonna do, because to me, there he is, yay. Yeah, anyway, it's overdone. Like Limey said, you can go down a whole rabbit hole of that crap.
it was so weird because, like, I'd only interacted, you know, like some people say, I clicked on one video of alligators and now all I see is alligators everywhere. It was like
Yeah.
that. I'd watched 2 of them just to see what kind of nonsense she was tagging me in. And
Yeah.
then it was like, just like within like 5 videos or something, suggestions, I saw it going down the pipeline. And then, like, a couple of weeks later, she started posting the stuff about it being, and I'm like, oh, so now you're like some, and the term was like, she was casting herself, and some of these people cast themselves as a dark empath. So it's like, I feel empathy so
Right.
much that it means that I have to be nasty to you as a narcissist because I'm going to save the world from spiritual eat. And so I'm like, you're an
There's
angel
this
and I'm
thing-
a demon now. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
people
geez.
use that. I found out going, you know, down that because I had some healing to do after an ex, right? So I went down that little rabbit hole myself a little bit and realized something. People that call themselves any type of empath, I'm sorry, we're human and we all should have empathy unless there's something clinically wrong with you.
Yeah.
It's almost like they treat it
Some
like a
people might have a little
superpower.
bit more than others. Again,
It's
it's a
it's-
spectrum, and that's more like emotional intelligence, right?
It's
It
a
can be learned.
superpower.
Yeah.
But
It's, look at me.
we
I've
all
got,
have
like,
empathy, I hope.
That's
Look at me. I'm like I'm an
Unless you're a
X-Men. I've
serial
got a
killer.
superpower.
was it
where I
Eddie
can
Murphy?
feel
And he
things.
told a joke, and he's like, "I am a good father." And I'm like, "What do you want? A fucking cookie? You're supposed to be a good." I'm like, "You're supposed to care about other people." It's like you want. Hey,
Yeah. I
you're
feel like
doing what-
people-
hey, you're doing
Walking
what
in
you're
someone
supposed to.
else's shoes, right? Putting yourself in someone else's position and feeling that, trying to
I
feel that
like,
way.
I feel like that's
That's
just
what
people-
empathy is. If you don't know what that is, I'm sorry for you, and I think that maybe you need to go talk to somebody. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to
Well,
be
it's,
mean.
sounds like-
I'm
it's
just
actually
saying.
two things. It's actually
sounds-
two things, though, Justine. There's the group of people who cannot do it, and then there's the group of people, which is probably larger, that refuse to do it.
Just
That's
won't.
the larger
That's
group, you know?
different, though.
Yeah.
And
feel
I don't
like-
think that's necessarily. I don't know what that is except maybe apathy.
I feel like that's people wearing that like it's a superpower or something. Like I'm a dark empath. Like I feel the world's pain and turn it into energy.
And it was like taking this like fixation on me and taking it into a spiritual realm when they're not even religious whatsoever at all, and it's just really weird. And I'm like,
I've seen this other crap they talk about. I've seen this other crap that they talk about, and I'm on this forum called Quora. It's a writing forum. And so they talk about being, what was it called? Twin flames? Like there's some type of special relationship or something. No, that's a codependent and a narcissist. You don't want to be in that type of relationship.
You know what the best explanation of a good relationship I heard was a good relationship is two people choosing to walk in the same direction together. That's all it is.
yeah.
It's like, and at any moment someone can go, and it's done. So it's really quite a miraculous feat when two people
right, and it says something
Yeah,
about
that's a good way of putting it for sure.
it's a great way of putting it, and it says more about the people that do travel that road together, that they want to be there. It's a choice.
Yeah, and it's also a good way of trying to come to grips when it doesn't work out. It's like, that's all it is. They decided to go a different direction.
Right.
What can you do?
Growing in a different way,
Yeah.
and that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's and then it. I suppose that within all of that, that's what I'm seeing the problem with all those terms that are coming to light, and there is a lot of validity to some of it, but I think that people took that term narcissism and ran with it way too much.
I'm gonna expand upon that and say, like that's kind of like the thing with like autism. Like that's why I decided not to be part of that stream, because I felt like I didn't know enough to even be included in that conversation. I felt like I'd be better off listening, because I've even been guilty of saying things are autistic in nature. Like saying so without even really knowing anything about it. So
Right.
it's kind of like one of those things where like, like you're talking about, narcissism and stuff like that, not really knowing it, or what it is, just using it as a buzzword, kind of like
a crutch is how
we're
I say
really
it.
like diluting the language.
Or a yellow
bit.
Yeah.
ribbon.
Right.
Yellow ribbon. Like I am part of this.
Right, like a Me Too type of movement.
Uh-huh.
That's
Well,
kind of
I mean,
how I saw it.
As a man, I am not going to comment at all on the validity of because I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. But if
I have a theory about some of those. I mean, all of those get usurped by dumb things, right? That
listen,
don't.
my
But
view,
that's a different conversation.
as soon as you have three people in any situation, you have a problem. That's
Well, yeah.
just the way people are gonna be, and
that's called
just have
politics.
you just have to. Yeah, you cannot like it, but you gotta just accept
You gotta
it.
deal with it. It's the
Yeah, you
polis.
gotta-
It's the city. No matter where you go, if you have a gathering
The
of
only thing
humans,
that makes
that's
a
called
difference is-
F that.
Yeah,
I'm,
making it through.
People are going to people, I suppose,
Yeah.
including myself.
Someone wrote a song about that.
People are
People are
people,
people.
so why should it be? Hell yeah, it's a great tune.
Yeah, I do
It's
like
a
it.
great one. But yeah, so that was an
It would be cool
just-
to like try to figure out a Depeche Mode song to do on an acoustic, because there's no guitar in their music. Because they were
yeah, you could probably do it though. Yeah, that would be a good one to do. Actually, you know what, Dom? I still have to email you.
Oh,
terrible.
good. I was starting to get afraid that I deleted it. No. You did your job.
I was looking at my
did your
to-do
job.
list and I'm like, I haven't done that again yet. Oh no. Yeah, so I've
a while
been
ago,
terrible. I do have a couple of Depeche Mode tunes on there, and
just-
I have an Audio Slave tune I want I want done that's not out there that I
Yeah,
really
Justine and I,
need.
we talked about something that we're going to try to do musically, and then she emailed it to me. Like in the same week, I decided to clear out. Like I had like 2,000 emails, and so every week I get all your show things, and there were hundreds of them. So I just typed in Justine and dragged it,
Deleted 'em.
got rid of it. I was like, and
Right.
as soon as I did, it was like, oh no,
Crap.
Yeah.
she was
did
going
that.
to email me as a person.
I was gonna actually email you just Dom, right? And I actually had sent it, and then he deleted it, and then which was whatever. I understand that because I bomb my emails all the time because you kind of have to when it yells at you. You're at
Yeah.
limit. Oh,
Well, you know, like my
Go
my theory on work emails is like the real important ones, they're coming back. You know.
yeah, yeah. Well. Work ones we're not going to talk about right now. I've done some. Whoops. Did that go unread? Oh, well. It'll, if it's really important, it'll, like you said, Dom, it'll come back.
Or what you do is you just like type mailer demon and you send it back to them. Mailer demon, do not reply. This is an automated response or something like that. I've done that with text before.
That sounds way more complicated than deleting.
That's so funny, though. Oh, that's tempting. Mailer demon.
This
You know
is
that
what,
thing-
this is what
That's
happens
so
when you send something to someone and it doesn't go through. It just
Right,
sends
I've
it
seen
back.
that. It's got all
It's
the,
like kinda
the
like a return
carrots
to
and stuff
sender.
in there. Yeah.
So I did it with
bounces
junk mail and
back.
shit.
I've had people's email bounce back on me. At my job, though, people quit and you can still email them for 6 months. It's weird. They don't take them off the email. Like, isn't that kind of like a security issue? But anyway.
That thing
See,
where
like-
people do reply all. So worked
Oh
in,
yeah, we were talking about the reply. Oh,
Yeah,
it drives
waiting.
me insane.
worked in call centers a lot, where you'd think they'd be good with like tech and telecoms, and there was one place I worked where it happened about 3 times. Somebody sent it out to everyone, and like you say, people reply or go, I don't know what you're talking about, or they go, stop sending the emails out and all this, and you sit there after the first time it happened, you're like, right, how long is it going to be before everything just falls over? Because it just it's escalated and gathered like momentum and mass like a snowball downhill.
And it
Until
doesn't help.
The entire system just fell over, and you're like, we work with telecoms all day long, guys. What the hell?
So funny.
Like,
And
take the
it's
bets
so
now.
Isn't it funny how they reply to all and say stop replying to all,
know,
and it
it
makes
just-
it worse?
Yeah,
Us
yeah,
just used to
but
sit
the-
there wetting ourselves, watching it all play out in front of us.
The problem is, like in businesses, everyone expects that everyone knows everything they know. You know,
Yeah.
it's like maybe you could explain, like you hire someone new. All right, this is how just in case you've never really used it before, but like this is when you CC someone,
Yeah.
your
You need to
subject
be
is the
email
person
training.
who needs to respond. The CC is someone who needs to be made aware, and BCC is when you want to rat somebody out but don't want them to know it.
Right.
That's how
So many
email works.
times at
Put it
my
in the right
job.
place.
And exactly. So many times at my job, they'll do an email and they'll just mass put people in, and you don't know
Yeah.
who they're talking to.
Exactly.
I'll always look at the first person on that they put on
Right.
there, and sometimes it's me, and I'm like, "You talking to me?" And a lot of times I'll just
talking to me?
email the person and
Really
end up
talking to me?
asking him, "Is like, are you asking me this? Or are you asking someone else this? Because I don't know what you're I don't know what are you asking? You know."
Who are
Who the
you?
hell are you?
we know.
that I've done too. Like, why are you emailing me this? We had a meeting set up for something, right? And it was set up for, it came across, one was for one group that I had nothing, it was operations, it was servicing. I'm definitely not that. And then another came over for commercial real estate and home builder finance closers. I am neither one of those. And I knew I was supposed to attend one of these meetings, so I got a little snarky because this girl's Jerk. She actually has
Her name has
I have a special little file for her. That is the jerk file, and all her emails go in there. It
Oh, there you go.
says jerk. It says jerk in capital letters, and all of her emails go in there. And she sent this to me, so I sent it back, and I politely said, I am neither, and I accepted it, and I said, by the way, I'm neither in CRE or HBF, but I know I have to attend this. Like, dumbass. Like, put us on there. Like, I know
what
there's
my
only
other-
two of us, but, you know.
Know what my other big pet peeve is, like when it comes to emailing and work? Because to me, it shows an utter lack of attention to the person who's sending the email. Like, they send out a mass email where you need everyone's so-and-so form. If you've already sent it, this message is not from you. And I'm like, how about before you send the email, you look to see who sent in their shit and don't
Right.
fucking bother them. Why,
Yeah, but
why
no,
do we have to read this
instead-
again? We sent our shit in.
Right.
You know,
They do that
you
to me
ever-
all
you
the
don't
time.
even have the decency to know what you're talking about before you want to speak to me. Go fuck yourself. That's
You
Yeah,
ever
how I
get a
it's
feel.
phone call where it's just
But
an
I can't say
automated-
that.
You get like a phone call where it's just an automated thing telling you to call them back at some number. Like, you fucking called me. Why the fuck do I?
Oh,
no, I'm
yeah,
not
I
calling
hate
you back.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be some type of mechanism where they can get you on a recorder or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I hate that crap. I never, that goes into a black hole in my phone purposely.
Yeah.
We would
It's my anyone I need to talk to, their number is programmed in, and their
Yeah.
name comes up. If a number comes up, I ain't answering the phone. If it's someone I should know, they'll leave me a message, and then I'll put them in my phone and call them back. But yeah, it's there. 80% of every call or email I get is some kind of sales pitch or scam. It's
Right.
ridiculous.
Spam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. What were you gonna say, Lemmy? I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh, yeah, like I mentioned before, I've only done outbound calls like once before. And there used to be three of us quite often, just of an evening, like me and two friends of mine outside of work as well. So he'd have a bit of a laugh and stuff. And the guy called up somewhere and got a voicemail. And I can't remember how he knew, but he knew, or he just used 0000 and hacked the voicemail and recorded his own silly message on it. And then said, guys, ring this number. And we're like, Tom, what the fuck?
That's funny. You changed his voicemail. You used to be able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because people didn't put like good password like 000012345 or
like
something
people used to do
dumb.
the Wi-Fi, just like people would buy Wi-Fi default password. Somebody else would walk past, look it up on the internet, and then just like stand near the house and stuff. They'd like say it's the equivalent to like standing outside somebody's window and using their lamp to like read a book by or something.
Right, exactly.
Oh, and I remember reading about something called phone phreaking, and I think the phreaking was PH, like with phone as well, and it was
Okay.
kind of like early hacking before the internet. But you used to be able, you would do it through the switching system of the telephone system, and you would use recorded tones. And then you'd be able to like make long distance calls and have it charged at a local call or free call and different things
That
like
was
that.
actually
You've heard of
part
that,
of,
right?
That
I've
was part
totally
of the
heard
movie
of that.
War Games.
Yeah.
That was part of the movie War Games.
Mm-hmm.
Where
okay.
was it Matthew Broderick? I think.
Yes, yes.
Character, he was like using the phone freaking system to access his school's computers
Yes.
and change his grades.
Yes. He would
Yeah.
get
They
in
changed
there
the one
and
girl's
change all his
grades.
grades and his girlfriend's
Oh, man,
grades.
I've
And
only
then
seen
Oh, is
that's
that
how
when
he
he crashes
accidentally.
his dad's car? That beautiful, like, red.
No, that's
That
Ferris
was
Bueller.
Ferris Bueller.
Oh,
And that's his best friend's dad's car.
Okay.
It was completely got anxiety because, you know, his family's rich, and so he's got all these pressures on him, and Ferris just doesn't give a crap, you know, and so he wants to take out the Alfa Romeo, and the kid's like, no, it's in like a glass house, right?
No, actually, wasn't
They try to run the wheels back and
wasn't
crash it. It's great.
Ferris Bueller the one where like he had like a synthesizer sampler?
Yes.
So
That farted and
that's probably where he got
burped. Yeah.
confused because he's a nerd in both of them, basically. You know, in
Yeah,
war
no,
games
well,
and
he's Matthew Broderick,
Ferris.
God bless him, but he's a nerd. Like
Hey,
me.
can I dial back to what Limey was talking about before? Because it made me like, I was like, oh my God, I'm a conspiracy theorist. But like, and like, and then you, Justine, were talking about like with passwords and stuff, you know. As a 50-year-old person with 2 young kids, and I'm trying to let them be on the internet and safely, you know? And it's fucking impossible. They
Yes, it
make it
is.
so goddamn impossible that my
Ooh, let's talk
choices
about this.
are don't let your kids see anything or let them see everything. You know, it's so
sick.
hard.
It's
So-
bad too. It's
and
bad
then
out
you
there.
have all these websites where they fucking force you to change your password. They just, look, you have to change your password, you know? So they keep making the whole process more complicated, and now they're
Mm-hmm.
starting with all this two-factor authentication
Right,
to
right.
circumvent the whole password process. I'm like, this is what artificial intelligence does. First, it makes us dependent on us. You know, we become dependent on them to get our passwords, and then we give them the right to just know it. And then
Right.
they take over the earth.
And then, in addition to that, you also give them if you really want it to be easy,
Yeah,
your
you're giving them
thumbprint.
access to everything, right?
'Cause
So
if I open my phone with a thumbprint,
Right.
right?
Yeah, and then
So-
before long, they're gonna make it. They're already making laws where you have to present an ID to use an operating system.
Yeah.
So they got all of
Nasty.
your information, everything you're doing on that operating system. They want all of that.
what are you doing on other people's operating systems?
So when you install a computer or you install an operating system on your computer, like Windows or Apple, or you know, like they're even trying to go after Linux, they're like every install you have to like basically present an ID.
How exactly, though, is that? I mean, they're not really protecting kids. And I got arguments about that because I was in a community about that stuff. And it's so prevalent because, you know, they can get through it. They can get through all of it. I've seen it so many times, okay? And they
I was a
get
kid in the 90s,
groomed
I
and they
figured
get
out how
taken
to-
advantage of. And you know, even in so-called innocent programs like Roblox, right, which is for kids, I've had friends at work that have told me their kids have gotten groomed. They try to get groomed through that because what they'll do is they'll buy these kids presents. They'll give them, you know, points or whatever to play the game, and they bribe them. It's disgusting.
My kids were huge Roblox fans. Terrible story. I felt so bad for them, but I was like, "Them's the breaks when you break the rules." And like they've been on it since they were little kids. They had accounts, and I can't tell you the amount of money I wasted.
Oh,
to
I
shut
know.
them-
I
to shut them
know.
up. Here, I just put 20
It was
bucks on
called
your Roblox
Fortnite
account.
for
Yeah.
my stepson. Yes. Oh
So-
my God.
But one day, and oh man, I was so angry. But I tried to be cool. My kid said something really fucking heinous and stupid in an open
okay.
chat. He was like, "Well, I'm 55 and I want to touch you," or something like that. And their accounts got shut down immediately. And what happened was, since they're both off of my email address, so it affected his older brother. And his older brother was like so upset. It was like, "I don't do anything anything wrong. And I sat him down and said, like, listen, man. I said, first off, for whatever the computers believe, you are me. It's my name. It's my credit card.
Yeah, I'm responsible for you.
I'm an old dude, you know.
Yeah, that's
And I was
not
like,
cool.
That
you
shit
know, and
goes to,
and I was like,
cyber
I
hotlines
don't
and
want to
shit,
talk
like-
about what you said. I said, I know we say stupid things, but you got to think. I was like, you got to know everything you do online is there. It's there for anyone
Permanently.
who can use it or against you or for you. It's like, and you got to be smarter than that. And then I had to do the hardest thing and it was like, guys, I'm sorry, you're banned from Roblox, you know?
Yeah.
I can't
it's
do
done.
anything.
It's like,
cannot
I
do
didn't even
anything
do
for
it. You did it.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
You
I was
can't,
like,
you can't
I was
be
like,
that.
Dad can't fix this. It's,
Because
I can't fix this.
because
done. Yeah.
it might already be too late, but the government might be coming pounding on your door at some
No.
point. Like, what's this thing we saw on the servers here? Because that shit happens to people. There's videos where.
It does. No, it's not even, they do that sometimes. Or
It's
it
crazy
could get.
how people think that the cops
Luckily,
aren't
it was
watching.
just a one off comment. It would be worse if there were something paired with it. Bad pictures, stuff like that. Just knowing the rules and
But
stuff, and having been again from a community that like that.
If you type a search term, they're gonna come after you for things like don't search for book or backpacks and like pressure cookers.
Yeah.
for
Well,
example.
yeah.
The government's watching that shit, and if you think
Sure.
that if you think that the deep web or that the dark web is not government, it is. They invented
So-
that shit.
They
One
did.
of
The
the-
Navy
one
did,
of-
actually.
One of the real cool things
It's the
about
Navy,
being a
yeah.
modern parent is I can see every search term my kids put in the computer, you know? One kid, it's always about video games. How do you beat this level? How do you beat that level? And my other kid is pretty much all sports. But one day, like I saw it. It was like
no.
boobs. I was like, here we go. To watch my kid's face when I confronted him, like, it was so priceless. I'll never forget it as long as I live.
I got a story about that. Kurt did the same, okay, with Jordan. And he told me about it. He found Pokemon. like dirty Pokemon.
Really?
And, yeah, he talked to me and he's like, is that weird? Is my kid strange? Like, I'm like,
Isn't he a
I
little
don't-
young for a fetish?
It was, yeah. He was like, this is just weird.
Is it
Wow,
some, like,
he's
Rule
really
34
advanced.
Pokemon kind of thing.
I was
so
34
funny.
when I got my first
Pokeporn.
fetish. Yeah.
I know,
wow.
it was so funny though.
And
I
so,
had to
how
laugh.
did it resolve? I have to ask.
I don't know, and I didn't ask. I will be
okay.
honest. I let the dad take care of that,
was it
and
like
not
some kinda
worried
like,
about. I tried to put it out of my mind until you just said that.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's so funny though.
My night is ruined.
It
Oh,
was hysterical.
God.
Pikachu.
Because I had to get that out of my brain as like mental flaw. That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
No.
At least now you can laugh about it.
It was really funny. he
Come on, now you could be super cool and like next Christmas send them the biggest fucking Pikachu.
He would think it
Why
was
does Pikachu
hysterical.
have
We have a lot of
buzz cut under
jokes.
his tail?
Because his dad would totally tease him about it, right?
Sure.
Like, so it would make light of it. It's not a big deal, you know? And Jordan would be like, Dad, gross! And he would, like, run. It was really funny, but it was funny.
I mean,
we weren't, like, trying to
the
torture the
internet.
kid, but it was
There's
funny.
It is the internet, and there's this thing called Rule 34, and that's anything that exists, there's a porn of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's,
You know what I mean? It's just, he was a kid.
It may really be one of the only forms of media that is truly for everyone. If you think it, there's someone else's.
I mean,
There's
it's
a video.
not it's not an unheard of thing. They did it in 60s
No,
underground
I imagine
comics.
it's
I
very much
collect
like-
them,
yeah.
so I have a lot of those types of where it's, a sexy rabbit or something stupid. Our Crumb did a lot of that stuff. He
Yeah.
did bears in a bathtub. Okay,
Yeah, this is-
rub a dub dub.
People
It's
be like,
funny.
oh, fairies
I
are
could
weird and
almost
all that, and it's
see.
like,
Yeah.
been around
I
for
could
a while.
almost see like the sweetness
Exactly,
in
Lemmy.
it. It's like, you're at that age when everything's kicking into gear and you have this thing out that you love and somehow they cross paths,
Exactly. I think
you
that's
got this,
all it was.
you got this brand new thing. But really, is it bad? Is it hurting anyone? It's like,
No, it
as
wasn't.
long
That's
as-
what made it
yeah,
funny.
As
It
long
was
as
like,
his wife wants to put the hat on.
It's like, does it matter? I go, well, let me ask this. Was it guys or girls? And he was like, it was girls. Well, I said, well, there you go. I mean, whatever. So I think that would be more the psychology that I would be interested in with the kid to understand him, where he's coming from. And that's what I'm saying. So that's where he's coming from. Your kid's hetero, and like you said, Dom, he's just kind of crossing he's crossing that path.
I think,
Yeah, I
Pokemon
really
thing
think
would've
it's
been-
that easy.
Just
I think
from
the
kid to adult.
compared to now, I think the Pokemon thing would be treated a little bit less is humiliating these days, because I mean, look, anime, the whole Japanese animation thing.
Oh,
is
yeah.
like mostly gooner material.
Oh yeah,
I
it
mean,
makes a lot of
I'm
sense.
actually a little
so
worried right now,
over-sexualized.
Justine, because for Christmas, all my kid, he wanted a new Switch 2 and this Pokemon game. And I got it for him, and I have not seen him in 6 months. so I'm fucking freaking out right now.
You need to go check the IPs. Tom, you need to go check the IPs. That's what
I gotta wake my wife as soon as I go, babe, you gotta do what I heard tonight.
All right,
Get ready
kid.
for this shit.
What is it? Is it Squirtle or Charizard?
Exactly.
Oh, it would be Turtle. The turtle one. That is.
Oh, God.
Yeah. How that's even possible. I don't know.
Squirtle.
No, it's the way he's like the one with the shell. He's green. That one.
Squirtle.
I can't even imagine that one.
God,
Maybe
damn.
what's a Pikachu? I don't even know what. What am I saying? No, none of that. That is
This
Funny
is
thing
next
is,
week's
y'all
show.
way older than me. I grew up with this shit, so
Well,
Yeah, they-
again, it's not like I'm any stranger to it. I mean, like I said, I collect R. Crumb and S. Clay Wilson. I mean, S. Clay Wilson, that's some dirty stuff. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this stuff, but and another one of my heroes is Spain Rodriguez. He signed a bunch of my stuff. That's a cool dude, Spain Rodriguez. He's a really cool dude. But it's graphic, and some of it is not human. Some of it's animals. I'm just saying. So I mean, I'm not any stranger to that type of animation, but so it didn't like really throw me for that big of a loop. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
It's just humorous to me. I don't know.
The thing is, as well, like you'll have because like my kid was into anime and manga and stuff, and then you get people that do cosplay and stuff. So if you're a teenager and you're seeing a really pretty teenage girl dressed up like a sexy Pokemon, then you can kind of see how these things might happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so especially, good God, when I was 15, everything somehow wrapped back around girls and sex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
I think
yeah.
it's the age, right? I mean,
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
100%.
everybody's like that.
Walking
at that age.
hormone.
It's like- Yeah, exactly. There's a cool show on Netflix called Big Mouth. And it's an animation. Nick Kroll and that whole crew. Maya Rudolph plays a character. That's a great one. It's
that show's terrible.
it's I love that. I love it. It's teenagers and like their emotions as outside monsters. So you've got the hormone monsters, which are my
Okay.
absolute ultra favorite.
I
They
love
are
stuff like that.
hysterical. Maya Rudolph plays the female hormone monster, one of them. Oh my god.
So it's like an
Great.
adult version of that Pixar movie. I forget what that was called, but
Yeah,
like they were
sort of.
inside
Yes.
the brain of a kid.
Yes, with all the little
aspects. Yeah.
emotions, with anger, and yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
And that was a good
yeah.
movie. So this
I've not
sounds like it'd
seen
be
that,
fun
but I
too.
wanted to. And then there was a sitcom that used to be on at like 3 o'clock in the morning here called Herman's Head,
Oh,
which I'm wondering if it was like that. If you
Herman's-
I
Herman's
mean,
Head.
probably,
ever seen that?
probably, yeah.
Herman's
it's probably
It was it was an adult
be.
sitcom, but it was like you'd see inside a bloke's head, and then there was different characters playing different aspects of his personality.
Yeah,
no,
that's really
what
similar.
this movie was.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know, but they actually did it really cool because they didn't just talk about like the characters, you know, and let's remember this is a movie for children. And I think it's good in new movies that they are exposing kids to heavy ideas in a palatable way, you know. But they were talking about not just how their emotions ruled them. There was like memories got put in like these little crystals and they all flowed in this big stream, and they were showing you how fast one bad thing can lead to the next bad thing, and then you have this new leg, you know, of your life that wasn't, you know, you didn't have to take, you know. So I think
Yeah.
it was cool in that sense of showing kids, you know,
yeah, getting
how
people
like
to
decisions stack and
or starting people early at like doing self-reflection kind of thing and trying to thinking about
Yeah.
their own thinking sort of thing. I guess.
I mean, like when we were kids, there was no shows like that. You know, there were no shows teaching children maybe how to be children. You know, except you know, like the really crappy.
Or to know that that's all normal and everybody
yeah,
bloody
exactly.
goes through
Yeah.
it.
So they definitely do a better job of it
yeah.
today.
And I think that this is what I love about that show.
yeah, what's this like? It says coming of age all over the place, and then
Yeah.
they all seem like.
Yeah, they're all like
that-
holding themselves. Yeah.
Isn't that getting what I think it's getting?
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
all
it's,
right.
it's exactly what you think.
Like,
Exactly. It's hysterical.
It's like a puberty or like a Family Guy puberty show, kind of like
Right.
sort
Yeah.
of.
and
That's
they're
what
and that's the male and the female hormones in the background, right?
Exactly. That's the
Oh,
two
cool.
main hormone monsters,
Okay.
the male and the
See,
female.
again, this is like it's a difficult time. It's like I was thinking like soap operas is a way for people to talk about things that are really difficult that they can't approach with people in real life, or don't know if anybody would like, you know, ostracize them if they knew what was going on or whatever, and can give people ideas and ways of thinking about things. And this sounds, you know, because
Exactly. Very similar.
parents either
Very-
don't talk about it or find it really hard to, or are
They've
awful when they
got-
talk about it.
Yeah, and there's another great character. Let me see if I can find them. They're the emotional ones. So they either are really cute little fairies or they're evil demons, right? So like, they're called love bugs, big mouth love bugs.
Right.
So like when you're a teenager and you've got a boyfriend or girlfriend, right? This is how you feel. You feel all sparkly. You're a butterfly, right? But then you could turn into what do they call it?
You know,
The
we
wo-
used to call those
this,
cooties.
that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and
we
it's
called those cooties.
no, it's smart
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It's really that. It's really that.
Circle, circle, dot, dot.
Quick,
Now I
you
have
know.
my cootie shot.
Yeah, you end up this monster, this thing. It's a snake. You know, and it's just a really interesting interpretation
That's like
of
a
emotions.
phallus thing. That's definitely a.
That's what they normally look like, or like this. This is the two. They run an office, the Love Bugs, and she was the main manager, and he was one of the Love Bug guys.
I'd like to know what drugs they had to be on to make that show.
I am looking forward to the day like when I can sit like with both my kids and watch Superbad, which is like
Oh, yeah.
one of the best
a
coming
good
of
day.
age stories for boys, man. It is so fucking funny.
Super
And
bad.
it is so wholly inappropriate for their age. But man, a good day in my life is going to be the day when the three of us kick back and watch it, and I'm just howling. That
Yeah,
movie
what's
is
his name?
so insanely funny.
Jonah
Jonah
Hill.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
That
is-
character, it's almost like you think that was Jonah Hill when he
Yeah.
was growing up. You know,
And you know, the great thing for me about watching is like I kind of know which character my kids are gonna favor because you know it's specially formulated to contain most psychological types of boys. You know, so
Yeah.
like to know which one's gonna go with who. Like, you know,
I
so
have
fun.
seen that. That was Kurt's favorite movie. So
Oh, God,
I
I
have seen
love that
that movie. God, probably 1,000 times, and we did end up watching it with our kid, and it's a kind of
Remember
running
when
joke.
American
Hysterical.
Pie was like
In my
was
family.
That movie?
Yeah.
When people like saw American Pie as kind of like your guys is super bad. Like,
Yeah.
I was too old to like it, and but not
American
old
Pie
enough
was
to
stupider.
appreciate it. Yeah, no,
It was
Superbad
dumber.
was. I mean, come on,
Superbad was smarter. It was a smarter
MacGuffin,
film.
McLovin. You are
McLovin, the whole
I
ID
fucking
thing,
love
so
See,
funny.
McLovin's my favorite. He is the guy.
So-
like
and
I
the whole
want to be
thing with-
McLovin.
Being in the science class and having to
Mm-hmm.
pair with people you don't necessarily or your crush or something, and having
Yeah.
that whole, and then trying to front how cool you are and you're
Mm-hmm.
not cool at all, and trying to like, oh yeah, I can get that alcohol for you guys, and you have no clue what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
So you desperately go to your buddies. It's just
But that's
exactly
why his character is
how
so
it
good
happens.
because he became McLovin. You know, by the end of the movie,
Yeah,
he was
he
that kid,
did,
and
he
it was like you could have
was.
always been that kid, dude. You know, so yeah, I positive message. You know,
So
McLovin,
funny.
man.
Oh, that movie.
I'm
Yeah.
probably
All
gonna
right,
watch it
so-
again soon.
We've gone over about 16 minutes, so I am going to end it and
Always
take it
refreshing.
backstage. Take it backstage. Everybody have a wonderful night, and we will do this again next week where I have
Good night,
another
y'all.
subject and we
Good
talk
to
about
see
weird
you all.
stuff. Bye, guys.